There he is. Oh, he's kind of lined up. You're kind of actually not lined up. I'm going to move it now before most gets me.
That face looks awfully familiar.
What? Hey, don't. The limitations of software, right? That's not a choice.
And also the imagination.
And limits of your imagination. I like one face. Hey, he's a chunkier face this time. Very slightly.
And he's got a slight smirk.
Oh God, is he going to be Peril's cousin or something?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah. Yeah, that'll keep him alive for longer. Being the traitor's cousin. What a good choice. Oh dear. Right. Here we go. D&D on a Thursday. I've got a monster in me and it's working. So, where were we? Who can even remember? Not me. In the Islet Kingdom. Yay. Finished the boat trip. We got into the Islet Kingdom. On the way in, we saw some wyverns, some dragon-formed beasts that are flying around and hunting in the grounds of the Islet Kingdom in the north. You dropped off some people beforehand, and we have to do a little rewind in time before we come back to where we were, because I forgot that there were people on the boat that were supposed to talk to you before you got off the boat. But you made it into the Islet Kingdom, into the docks. You split up into three teams to follow the Talon's cargo, to obviously go and drop off Wilhelmina and her goods to the jewelers, and Zilna followed the not the Embercore, the Nimble Fingers cargo on its journey through the city, which took you on a nice journey through the Islet Kingdom. You saw some different districts and places, ultimately all finding your destination. The Talon's cargo was dropped off into some warehouses that were labelled up under the company name, the East Road Charter Company, a company you have heard before from the merchant you saved on the river on the way in, known as he was trying to buy and bring supplies for making roads down into the Islet Kingdom, and said if you ever needed any work, that Gimbar could go to the East Road Charter Company and try and find some work, and if he vouched for people, maybe more people could get some work. The Zilna followed the delivery of automaton parts that led him straight to the palace. What did I call it? The palace ward, right in the central islet, into the king's palace. Briefly seeing glimpses as the doors were open and deliveries were made of some very large automatons, whether they be fully automated or be shells that were to be worn. They were definitely the size that someone could easily have been inside of them. Seen some automatons, but as the doors closed, knowing that those goods were being delivered straight into the king's palace, where there seemed to be a workshop set up, and there were indeed a few gnomes working. And then Gimbar and Willow went the shortest distance to the Merchant's Bridge to make a nice handoff of deliveries into a jeweler on or just before the Merchant's Bridge, which was actually a little ambush by, you believe to be, some Silent Ashes members who made off with the case that was attached to Wilhelmina, and disappeared off as you guys scarpered. A fireball blew up the shop, and you got away with Gimbar carrying Willow and Wilhelmina under his arms, running through into the back streets of the Bath district before Talons could come and apprehend. But the goods that Wilhelmina had, she did make you aware that they were magical items. They were likely magical jewelry items, and that they were, although the Talons were there, there's still money to be made, and they still dealt in kind of in the buying and selling of magical items under the noses of the Talons somewhat, and the Silent Ashes were an annoyance to them because they are trying to collect as many magical artifacts as they can, and in this case they got themselves some. So you know the Silent Ashes are operating in the area as well, and then whilst Yelos, Hannah and Kos were staking out the East Road Charter Company, where the Talon's goods were, the rest of you made your way into the steppes, into the northwest of the city, back to an area that Willow knows, or used to know quite well, to the Church of Istra. Istra is the god, which seemingly was closed as you looked to meet up with everybody, find out what the plan was next. And on your long hours waiting for everybody to turn up, notice that there was indeed a light inside the church. And on peering through the keyhole, you saw there were two people that were by like torchlight having a conversation hunched over a table. We left as you knocked on the door, as one of these people were sneaking up to that front door itself. And that's where we are. But we will rewind slightly, just a few hours, back to the beginning of the day, as one of the last stops would have been where Bida and Dardri left the boat. They weren't coming all the way into the Islet Kingdom. They were leaving from Easterville. So one of the stops on the way down, they would have dropped off before you'd seen the wide ones. They would have departed the boat, having stayed on it for as long as they were willing to, and head off to see their family, as they had explained before. So you guys would all get to see them leave. Willow, as you help them off, get them off to onto the banks of the near Easterville, where there is just farmland around, a few dirt roads that run, and they were going to head down one of these roads. Bida and Dardri would thank you for your time, and Bida produces a little pot with a little plant inside of it that she holds out and gives you as a gift. She would be like, "Oh, yeah, I'd just like to thank you for everything that's happened. You've made our journey a little more interesting than it was before. Good luck in what comes before, and be careful in the big city. Take this as just to keep your fingers green." As she passes you this little potted plant, this baby plant.
Oh, thank you, Bida. That's very kind of you. And I'll give her a hug if she will accept.
Yep, she'll check out.
If ever you need us, the world seems smaller now for the good folk. So if ever you need us, just, I don't really know, but just remember that, and then I'll whisper, where there's faith, there's no fear, Bida. And that's when I'll give her a hug.
She'll smile. As she says, the last thing that she'll say to you is, so make sure you water this plant every day, and hopefully it reminds you a little more of home. And then she will pause as she turns away, pause, and then turn back for 1 second and say, if you ever are too lost, remember, there are always friends in nature. There are always friends in the forest. She gives you a little wink, and she turns back and starts wandering off. Dardri's like, gets himself going.
I'll give him a hug as well, so he doesn't feel left out.
You hear he's walking off. He's like, where did those sisters go? Little pervert. Can you roll 2 d20s for me?
That is a 16 and a 4.
Okay. So 20 in total. Okay, cool. Nice. So they yeah, they head off as you guys would head in, and as far as you're aware, they are heading off in to find some of their family into this farmland. And the south here is where a lot of the crops, becomes way more arable farmed, where all the crops are growing, which you assume are taken into the Islet Kingdom itself as well to feed the people. But yeah, they happily make their way off as you guys made your way into the Islet Kingdom. The second person that had something to say before they left, and would have been done so at the docks, would have been Lee with you, Gimba. As he would tell you, once he got his clothes back from Willow hiding them all the time.
They weren't hidden, they were drying.
Oh, of course, yeah. So he gets his clothes back and gets dried. So Gimba, as you guys, as you get to the docks and he wants to dart back into the city and get going, he says, if if you want to find friends, to look for the Nook and use one of the passcodes, and he will. Oh shit! I can't find it. I'll send you what the passcode is. But it'll be another watcher phrase.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says look for the Nook, and he tells you the Nook is in the Forum Quarter, so it's like right in the center in the North Bank. So yeah, he says, yeah, if you're looking for friends, come to the Nook. Use this phrase, that will get you in. He'll tell his guys that there are watcher agents, other watcher agents in the city at least. So he gives you that as you would have got off and start doing your bits, he would have just shot back into the city and got away with himself. So yeah, that information was passed, and then we can rewind back to where we were. So yeah, you know of watcher agents in the city. You know of a establishment called the Nook in the Forum Quarter to look out for, and Willow, you got given a plant as a gift to look after.
Lovely, thank you.
After you
So she said water it every day.
water it every day, and hopefully it will remind you of home.
Okay, thank you.
Wicked. And then we have the transpiring of the day. So we come into the evening of the day. Inside the church of Istra, we find two characters. A mere 30 seconds, a minute before you guys start peering through the door. One of them is a 5'8", 5'9" young human male, looks scrawny but is quite strong in leathered armors, carries a sickle, has almost a bit of a mohawk, as he's looking kind of dotingly up and following and having this conversation with another figure. Reese, would you like to describe your character, please?
Yes, I completely forgot about this part.
I am this man on this picture.
I am that guy you see bouncing up and down. So, he is, I'd say, about 6'1", 6'2". He's a bit of a chunky boy. Bit hefty. He's in, I think it's full. Oh gosh, damn it! I was not ready. I should have been ready. He is in full chainmail armor. He's not carrying any weapons at the moment, but he's got it's kind of like your normal chainmail. It's got a bit of white tabard around him and a blue cape. Funny enough,
It's got a cape, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So you find your character and this young man. You are both looking over a table, and on that table is a rolled up map. A map that that Glenn, your like squire, your protector, your like paladin in training, carries around with you, and it's where you mark up all the activities you're doing, where you might be working, where there might be people in need, and it's just kind of like your live GPS map of what you can do, where you can do, and help stuff. As you are going over information that you've been tracking for a while, the kind of whispers on the wind you had found, through whispers in the wind, you kind of found out that there were shipments coming into the city. And one of these shipments, you believe, was going to be delivered into the barracks. Where you are in the steppes is in kind of the northwest. The bottom part, right before it comes to the islet, is where their barracks are. This is the barracks that was originally used by the King's Guard, trained up all the normal guard force for the king and the guard force for the town. Has obviously been taken over by the Talons, and has now been seen a lot more activity than in recent times, and it's been of interest to you. One thing you're trying to do in preaching and still like preaching the word of the Nine Sisters, where that is clearly banned in the city, and the Talons would, if found you, definitely take you away. You hope not killed on sight, but preaching the Nine Sisters is definitely banned. The churches are either closed or have been converted for Talon sermons. So seeing an increase in guard capacity and training is a worry. It's going to make your job much harder to do in the city. And the information you originally had was that there was that the Talons were moving some items that were going to improve their defense. That some things were being moved out of storage that they had and being tracked across the city, but the delivery that had arrived today was not that delivery. So you are still waiting for this delivery to come through. Glenn's passed you the information that the delivery that turned up today was not the delivery you were expecting, but was a delivery of weapons of some sort. And it seems like that more armaments are coming from outside the city now to train up the guard force. The Talons are increasing their guard force, increasing their abilities, let's say, in the city, which would be a worry for you. The second piece of information that you have floating, you've been having floating for a while, is tracking what actually is happening with the king's brother, and the last information you've heard, and you think that it might be connected, but you can't be sure with the guards being trained up, is that you think there's going to be a large citywide event at the Ring. So the Ring is this huge entertainment venue in the middle of the islet, a huge amphitheater stadium where battle reenactments happen, where fights with beasts versus warriors happen. Loads of different things happen in there, but one of the other things that happens is the Talons use it for these large show-off events now of traitors and anyone that kind of acts against them. So they've been twisted from being just pure entertainment into being something a little bit more sinister. Entertainment plus this like moral message they're trying to push. And the other piece that you're tracking at the moment is you believe something large is happening at the Ring within the next couple of days, but it's not being preached about yet. It's not being spoken about in the city. So that is also playing your mind. So as you two are going through this map, looking at where you might be able to move, where you might be able to get people to, where you'd be best use, where these goods might be moving from. Is it possible for you to get them? Really, as fighters, there's only a handful of you, so trying to take on the Talon forces has always been incredibly difficult and would be a stupid idea. So how would you try and get this information? How would you try and get these goods? How would you try and disrupt the Talons without going toe to toe with them? Like, going head on is not a great move. You can fight, but it's not your MO. You prefer not to go head to head and risk people losing lives. So as you're discussing this, you hear a knock on the door. As Glenn kind of looks up to you and goes, Preacher, are you expecting someone?
No, I'm not. Let's go take a see who it is.
You stay here. I'll sneak up and I'll see who it is. I'll be ready just in case. As he puts his hand to his sickle and he's going to sneak up the door. He wasn't that well on his stealth checks. He makes enough noise as he goes up. So as you step back, he's like walking down, but you can just hear like his boots. Where the church is not being used, you might hold some sermons in here, but Eastra's church, this church here in the steps, is one of the ones that's been kind of mothballed. It's too far outside of the city, it's too close to the outskirts. Talons have no need for multiple churches. Just for kind of all of your information, the Islet Kingdom has 9 churches, one for each of the gods, the old gods. The Talons have taken the ones that were the nicest and the ones that they needed the most and converted those. The rest of them, they just closed up. Just mothballed them as much as possible, but you still have access to some of them, and I've made sure you have access to those that aren't being used. But in the main, the insides of these church aren't being swept regularly, like they're dusty and dirty inside. The candles aren't lit all the time, so anything you hold in here is smaller. So yeah, as he's moving through, it's just dust and grit that's built up on the floor over many years as he creeps up towards the front of the door. Willow and Gimba, you see this younger, this person approaching, and you can see as they're moving up that they are kind of creeping towards. As that person gets closer to the door, is there anything you two would do, knowing that someone's approaching, and you can see that where you've knocked on the door, you've kind of startled them, and they are sneaking.
I try and look as least threatening as possible.
Throw your sword in your armor.
No, like I wouldn't have it drawn.
Okay.
I wouldn't have my shield up or anything. I'd kind of be looking with an inquisitive look on my face, essentially that if this person opens the door, Willow's intention is to say, like, looking for a place to stay, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
He said I can see him sneaking.
Yeah, as you look through the keyhole, yeah, because you'd seen them through the keyhole, and then you've knocked on the door, and then as you re-peek, you can see that there's one of the creatures is kind of just trying to do the low crouch as they comes towards you, but in sight of so you can see that you're knocking on the door has startled them in a way where they're not walking up and just going to open the door, that this person is kind of creeping up to the door.
Guess I just say loud, I can see it sneaking.
Through the keyhole.
Yeah.
As he says that, can I do a perception check for the area around us to see if we're being watched?
Yeah.
It's only an 11.
Hello. It's getting darker now in the city, and you've been here for a while. So as you look around, the steps is a mainly residential area. You're quite close to the market, but the market wouldn't be open this late. So there's a few people moving about, but no one that you notice takes like a second look at you.
Okay.
As you shout that through, Gimba, you see this guy turns back to you, preacher, as he walks forward and says, sorry, this is facility is closed. Please go away.
We only want a quick word. Could you... Oh, sorry, Gimba.
No, I'll let you answer. Yeah.
Just want a quick word. Would you mind just opening the door quickly? We won't take a moment of your time.
Oh, no, sorry, this door is locked, and we don't need anything for sale. This church is not in use, unfortunately. You'll have to make your way into the islet for the Talon's communions.
Not looking for a communion, and if there's a keyhole, then there's probably a key. If you could unlock the door, please.
You see, Peachy, you can hear the conversation going on as Glenn is getting like a little flustered. No, we don't need to open the door though, because you're going to go away, aren't you? You don't need to come in here. There's nothing in here for you.
Preacher will make his way up the make his way up the to behind Glenn, and he'll go, oh god, how can I help you?
Oh, it's quite hard to speak through a door. It's also getting a little dark out there. Is there any way that you could open the door just so that we could know who we're speaking to?
I'm sorry, but we've had some troubles in the past, and opening up to a door for the strangers isn't really in our best interests.
Completely understand, and we're looking for anything but trouble. Looking for a safe place to rest. The inns in the islet, probably not the best place for us to stay tonight.
Why would that be?
Haven't been here for a while. First time to the city in a while. I know this area very well. The rest, maybe not quite as I remember it.
So you're familiar with this church?
I was. It looks an awful lot worse for wear than it did when I last saw it.
He'll start thinking. It'll take a couple seconds to think, and then he will say, I'm taking leap of faith here, but oh God, one light.
Where there is faith, there is no fear.
You see, Glenn goes, as he looks, but he gets his core staff ready. He just mouths to you, if you open the door, hit them on the head. He positions himself behind the other door.
Can Willow go, when she says that, can Willow then go closer to the keyhole?
Yep.
And say, the church may be derelict, but I'm sure that Eastra will look after you. If you could let us in.
Then let them in. We'll let them in, and we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
It should be fine. Smash them over the head.
Who's got a fireball in this little church? If anyone?
Glenn's a fucking beast.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, as you're opening the door, I'll look to the others who are around just to let them know that the doors are opening.
Yeah.
Preacher, he'll open the door slowly to like try and eyeball, like kind of look at who's with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's only Willow and Gimbal on the stairs at the moment. And Zilna and Merrin are around the corner. But Koss is in the south of the sea. So
okay.
He's up there.
Why'd you have to single out Cos?
Because you're not there. You were the other trio.
As if he would be the untrustworthy one.
Yeah, I know. Nice.
As you open the door, then I'll say, because you can probably only see me and Gimbar if you're doing it slowly, I'll say, party of 4, all are safe.
Yeah, he'll. I'm trusting you with that, and then open the door. Come on in. Get in before anyone notices.
I'll gesture to the others to go in and go in.
Mm-hmm. Cool. As you walk in, Glenn's going to swing. No, he's not. As you walk in, having heard you use the lines of the Brotherhood, as you walk in, Glenn tries to give you each of you nice firm handshakes as he welcomes you into the Church of East. He's like, welcome to our church. Yeah, welcome. Like trying to assert his authority here in some way as you all make your way inside. But yeah, you would, Preacher, have the keys to this church to let people in and unlock the door after. So all 4 of you making your way inside the church? Zilna and Merrin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I was still here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you fall there.
I will probably say to Merrin as we're heading in, is like, what is happening with Yelos? Is he sticking with us?
I turn around, forgetting that he was there.
Yeah, Yelos is with Hannah and Koss in the south.
Well, I don't know. I think he's just excited to learn.
Okay. But as long as he's on side with us, he knows a lot of information.
You're not the first person to say that.
Probably won't be the last.
But you do have a point.
So we heard Willow say there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will try and catch up with Willow and be like, what about the others when they turn up?
I can explain to him. I just wanted us to get inside. It's dark, I can't see very well, and I'm concerned that we might have been being watched. So I just wanted to get inside as quickly as possible. I can explain about the others. And then I'll look at him after finishing that and furrow a brow and say, Cos? Fine. I still don't want Hana here. And Yelos? I'm not so sure.
Well, if both of them leave our site, we don't know what they're doing. You know, we need to keep them close. And also, everything Hannah's done so far has helped us.
Yes, but I don't trust her, and this is a place of faith. I don't want her here. We'll cross that bridge. They didn't bother coming back. So we'll figure it out.
I'd say I've told them where we are. But also, you think someone was watching us outside?
Well, we caused a little bit of a commotion over near the Gilded Rivet, so we were carried out. We were seen, Philomena and I. She's gone to the jewelry district, but
Guild, yeah.
Guild. But
well, because if people were watching us outside, then they've also watched us come in.
well, I've been keeping an eye out and haven't seen them. This is a residential area. There hasn't really been people that I've seen watching us. Let's just speak to this guy and see what's going on. He's I have reason to believe that he is friend, not foe.
Whilst so obviously we're entering the place. Is Preacher holding the door for us as we go in, or is he opening it and then?
Yeah,
hoping
I'm assuming
one of
you're
us...
gonna. Yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna lock it once they're all in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
So as I go in and go past, I hold out my hand to shake his and say, "Thank you, kind sir."
No problem. As long as
Now, am I doing this so Reese does the voice more? Maybe, but
It's good.
Evil.
It's
I'm
good
trying
for
to.
us. The more you get, the
Not
more you
easy
do it,
doing a
the
voice,
easier-
is it?
it's cool.
No, it's hard. It's so hard.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
That's literally all I want to say. I just want to
Okay.
shake his hand and say thank you, and then kind of head in. I'm not going to run and catch up with Zilna and Willow because I work on the basis if Zilna's rushed off, he's probably got something to say, and I'm not nosy.
Yeah, it's like a decent sized church. So yeah, I think once everyone comes in, I think Glenn would be leading people up to the top towards the altar where you guys would be chatting and where you can be away from the door. But yeah, the church is pretty big itself. Like it's a good 40, 50, 60 foot long. So you want to get locked in.
Can I take a quick, as just before I lock the door, take a quick look outside to see if there's anyone out there, like, spying on the church or...
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception... 18.
18. As you look around, you don't notice anyone out of the ordinary keeping an eye on the church. You know, one of the reasons you like using this church in the steps is that it's because of the barracks being so close, they tend to not send as many patrols this way. So you tend to not get that many unless it's market day. And then you might see a few more Talon Guard patrols out and around, but it's a pretty quiet place. And as you look out, you see much normal people. Also, this is because this is the area you probably operate out of the most. It's the area you know the most and you know the most people in. So you feel a lot safer here than you would elsewhere in the city.
Okay.
So I think as you look out, you're like, okay, cool. I'm not expecting to see Talon Guards, and I don't see any. Not that they don't always come around, but there's none here. And as you look about, you don't see any loitering. The only people that would have been loitering were these lot outside. And now you've got
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't pick up anything else. So nice. Close the door, lock it up. You all come together towards the altar to introduce and find out who each other are. But we will cut back quickly down to the South Bank, down to the Roadwalk Mile, outside the East Road Charter Company warehouses, where Kos, Hannah, and Yelos are staked out, looking at what's going on, or trying to keep note. You had seen before that all the Talon Guards that had accompanied the vehicle were in the warehouse, had gone into the warehouse. You'd seen Borash go into the warehouse. You'd not seen Rad. You'd seen Rad come out, I think. But yeah, the rest that you've seen, there's been a guard force there. As the sun starts to come down, you see the door open to what is like the front office on one of the side blocks of one of these warehouses. As you hear like slightly raised voices coming up, and you guys would be, to get a good view of what's going on the front end of the warehouses, you'd have to be across the road, kind of within the residential district. So you're going to be about 50 or 60 foot away, like the closest, if you want to stay hidden. And that's where Hannah would suggest you guys kind of stay. So difficult to make out exactly what's being said, but you can hear there's a bit of there's raised voices, slightly raised voices, as you see Borash and the guards being kind of like almost shooed out of this office out onto the street.
Can I try and pick up what I can listening in?
Yeah.
Perception.
Yes. Nice.
That is a 21 with advantage.
And 19 from Hannah. As you're listening, from the gist of what you can hear, mainly Borash's voice saying is, no, I think you're wrong. I have a right to keep an eye on the goods and patrol where I need to patrol. And this other voice dismissing that and saying they need to leave. Borash said, I will speak to my superiors about this and you'll be hearing about it. As you see, all of the talent guards are removed from this building, with Borash having an argument with a figure that is there and the door being shut on them and locked.
He's arguing with just one guy. There's one guy kicking out a bunch of armed guards.
Yeah, there's one guy in there who is, one guy you can see at the door who's having the argument with Borash, but these guards are being removed from the building, or they have been removed from the building, or asked to leave at least. They don't look like they've kicked up enough of a fuss to try and take it, so whatever's happened is it's a disagreement and they're moved. Swords have not been drawn, just voices have been raised. But Borash is saying, we have a right to patrol and to guard these goods, and then whoever was there, you can't quite pick up exactly what they're saying, but it seems like they're not having much of it. And then Borash's final point is like, okay, well, you will hear from the superiors about this.
And how many guards is he with?
The guards, they split themselves in, I think it's about 7 or 8 plus him, so just shy of 10.
Too many to try and murder him.
Yelos is like, we murdered him. I feel like I've not got long in this world. Hannah, looks at you and says, looks like they're not getting on with someone, but she counts them out quickly and says, I know what you're thinking. Not in the city.
Do you think we can get inside there? I point at the warehouse.
It's only a warehouse, probably. What do we want to find inside there, though?
I would think we would like to take things back to our bosses to impress them.
And she looks at you and then looks at Yelos and then kind of looks at herself and says, what? 1 crate? You want to try and steal a wagon? If they've unloaded that warehouse, we're going to have to reload a warehouse and then we're going to have to cart it through the city.
I wonder if they have any plans on transporting the goods in there.
I would assume so. As she looks up and she says, well, I assume so, but they're definitely not using them to make roads, are they? So we could stay out longer, or we go and find out?
Did our dwarven friend tell us about the road company?
Said that you could, I think you shared the information, right? One of the evenings, Gimbar. But the information you were given was just that you could get work there, that Gimbar could get work there if you wanted more work. But it sounded like more guard work.
Yeah.
I will remind Hannah that we can get guard work at the road making company if we want it.
She's like, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you're right. They're not going to be doing anything with those goods. They're not going to be using gold to make roads. Well, they might be using gold to make roads, crazy bastards, but I doubt it. So those goods must be going somewhere else because they can't be going to the road. They can't be used to make roads unless they're using. She's like, we can find out. Well, if your dwarf friend can get in and just talk to them, I'm sure he can find out what the plan is. We need
that is something for the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know it, and you see Borash and crew kind of heading back towards the islet, heading north back to the city. She's like, "So our chances track these boys and find out where they're going, or we go meet up with your friends, or we go back to the Mercantile HQ and I can report back at least to let us know that there's some operatives in the area."
Yelos, you go and meet the others, and tell Gimbar about the road making company. We will follow these. Do not get lost or caught.
Never been here before. He's like, cool. Going to the north. Yelos has the descending stone, though, right?
Yes,
He
So
does
worst comes to
indeed.
worst, he can wait till the morning.
But it's already been used
he's got to
today,
wait
so
till the next day if he gets lost.
that's assuming I haven't just destroyed it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, just in case he does get lost. Nice. So yeah, you, Hannah and Costa, you guys can carry on tracking as you track the guards into the city, and you send Yelos off to make his way to find everybody else, as he will head north. With no other way of
What
finding
could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
He's level 3 now.
Actually
He's
has
fine.
nothing on it. He's pretty unassuming, to be honest, as well.
Was he actually there for the description of the church? Does he actually know what he's looking for?
No, he just knows to go north.
Fantastic.
He's just going to wander the streets. Nice.
He's enthusiastic about it, though.
He is. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can do that. I can do anything. I killed some guys. Remember, I'm level 3 now. So you all make your way up to the tide steps. You cross over into the islet as Yelos heads off in front. As you follow Borash and crew. They make their way straight to the palace wards. So they cross over into the central islet, make their way north on the northern path, and they go to the same place that the automatons were turned over. So on the western side, I've got the thing. On the western side of the city, as you guys have come up over the river and you track them in, they just dip straight into the palace quarter. And this is part of the island where the whole island is walled off, but then within the wall, there is another wall on this western corner, which is where the king's palace is, where the palace ward is, where they have like their own workshops and servant quarters and stuff. And you see that Borash makes his way there, speaks to the guards up front, gets let in to there. So you can see the Borash's head into the king's palace. So you can assume that the Talons are operating out of there in some way, shape, or form. As the trail will go cold once you follow them there. As Hannah looks around and has a look as well, she says to you, Kosh, she's like, "Hey, we don't want to stay here very long." She looks up and you can see that there's like a patrol wall with little bastions on the edge, and there's guards that are posted up there that don't seem to be in Talon gear. They seem to be in King's Guard gear. They have slightly different dress. They're not in the gold, but the guards at the front, some of them are in Talon's gear, and you're in the central islet. And she says to you, "We've only got a bit of time before they start kicking people off the island. There's like a curfew, and then in the evening, no one's allowed on the island unless you've got a very good reason to be here." And she looks and says, "I don't think we have a very good reason to be here."
Let us find a bar.
She is like, "That we can do. We'll head north into near the bar."
Head towards where the others are in the general
Be
direction.
the quickest walk. Give me an insight check as you're walking.
Insight +1. 2.
Nice. You're oblivious. This is very unlike Cos. As you're walking through, you can see Hannah is like always vigilant and always aware as she is kind of looking around. As you cross the pilgrim steps, you cross the bridge out of the islet, and you can see the guards are getting ready to start questioning people coming in. It really is like closing time on the island, and then they kick everyone out. She says,
What time is it, by the way?
You guys would have been tracking through the day. It's probably like 10 p.m. Get close to 10 p.m.
Just so we can note the curfew time.
Yeah, it's about 10 or 11ish. They go not long after sundown in the spring, and then you can get through the island, but it's guarded. There's questions asked on people entering and exiting, so you can see the guards starting to get there. But as you go on the bridge and you're crossing over the river to the north, she says, "Have you noticed people are looking at you? I thought they were looking at me, but they're definitely looking at you."
I had not noticed. I am a magnificent specimen, though.
Yeah, that worries me.
Very
Okay.
skilled. And My people are probably not seen here very often.
She's like,
When was the last time you saw one of my people?
She says, good point. Well, I've heard tale of, but not seen any. Well, but I've not been in the south for a long time.
Well, my people did not land in the south.
She's like, well, just be careful. She's like, come on. And she heads, as soon as you get over, you head along the kind of like north bank into the North Market area towards the forum quarters. And you find a pub that's right on the riverside called the Sneaky Crab. And you go in there, where it is a very local pub. Not huge because of the area it's in. Has nice wooden tables, a few nice little stained glasses on the outside, nice swinging sign of a little crab on it. As you go in, they serve fresh kind of like not seafood, but like eels and crabs and crayfish and the other thing you catch with lines. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, river caught fish that are sold here. That's like their little MO. Probably some oysters and then ales and spirits. So
the people in here, what's the general makeup? Is it just civilians? Are there any Talons? Are there any Kingsguard?
Give me a perception check for give me a perception check. Sight one.
Just general sight.
Yeah.
That is 16.
16 seems to be mainly just like you don't see any guards, any armed people in, but you see some people that must have made their way over from another district because they are slightly better dressed, not in like robes in a clerical sense, in like a scribe or a scholar sense. People that are in, there's like 75% look like locals, look like either fishermen or dock workers or people that work out the market, and then there's this 25% of slightly better dressed people that are working out of here, and they seem to be they either must be scholars or scribes or something in the main. They've just got slightly nicer clothing.
Okay, my game plan is get a drink, maybe a couple, and then try and strike up conversation with that group. But we can do that after the others have done some stuff.
Sweet. Jet, you settle down in the Sneaky Crab. Yelos is wandering around the steps, looking for the rest of them as it gets dark. He has got a lantern, which is good. It's not going to help him much. As he is wandering around.
I think I would have told him we were meeting at a church at least.
Okay. Sweet. So he'll walk around looking for that. I will roll check for Yenos of how good his survival is. Nice. So come back to the rest of you inside the church. Preacher, you have let them in. You've locked the door. You've looked outside and not seen anything untoward. But you are still trying to keep light low and keep voices as low as possible because, again, the church is supposed to be closed. It's always closed, but you have access to use it and have done so for a while. But you don't want to alert anyone that may be watching that you haven't seen to your presence. So you'll kind of join up around what would have been the altar and used for the preach, but now is just kind of a cleared large marble table. As the rest of you get up there, you see Glenn takes a few steps in front, kind of just rolls up the large bit of paper that was on there. So it's rolled up to the side. Doesn't take it away or hide or anything, but just rolls up the map that was there to one side as you kind of stand around. And he looks up towards you, Preacher, as you arrive at the table with everyone here.
Thank you for letting us in. Willow Moonveil, and I put my hand out to shake his hand.
He'll shake your hand and he'll go, the name's Philip, but everyone calls me the Preacher.
Oh, how apt, we're in a church. She smiles.
Not by choice, it's just what they call me around here.
That they all call you, or
mostly
kind of wide-eyed?
Mostly people I can help. What need help.
I heard that there were still people here. People who remember the 9. I'm assuming that's you.
Yes. 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 I can't. We can't. Obviously, we can't be so open with it. But we do what we can when spreading the faith.
Well, God's one light, after all. Preacher, these are my companions. We have come here. We're working with the Brotherhood. I've been sent here, well, sent on a journey by them anyway. Do you know Brant? Oswin?
Roll a history check.
History? Oh, that's not good. Okay, 18.
18. You've heard the name Brant. You know, you haven't been in contact with him, but you know people that have been in contact with him, and that he operates out of the north as a Brotherhood member, as like a. So the Brotherhood, again, just so you're aware. So the Brotherhood works with in chapters. So you, in the sectors that are not in the south, where it's kind of frowned upon. But what used to happen before it completely got shut down is you'd have like all the clerics and preachers working underneath, and then there would be like a person in charge of a smaller district, and then another paladin or cleric that was in charge of like multiple districts. So like a weird chapter system, I think it's called. And you knew that Brant was one of the chapters of the north. That he was kind of not the biggest dog, but one of the big dogs in the Brotherhood in the north. So that's how you know of his name.
So I've been sent here by Brant. My companions with me, they're not Brotherhood, but we're all working together. So I really appreciate you letting us in. Just to note as well, we do have 3 more members of our party, although they're down in the south at the moment, but they may arrive at some point. I'm from the steppes, so when we came to the Islet Kingdom, it was very different, and I felt like maybe we should go to somewhere that I was a little bit more familiar with, so hence being here.
Yeah, the steppes have changed a lot over the last 10 years. I understand why you'd come to somewhere that you would are familiar with. Are your other 3 companions okay, or are they not going to cause any trouble for us now, are they?
They won't cause any trouble.
Good, because we don't need no more. We already have enough. Trying to help the others.
Trying to help who? You mentioned about trying to spread the word where you can. I mean, I haven't been here for 8 years. It's been a long time, and I've on our journeys we've heard about the talons of Ram taking over, but I don't think anything could have prepared me for quite what we've seen. Who are you helping? What are you doing here?
We do. Well, I say, me and Glenn do what we can, and it's all about what's needed. People need healing. People need food. Anyone needs help getting away from the talons. We'll do what we can, but it's not taking the fight to the talons. It's trying to work around them so we don't get caught.
While he's talking, can I look kind of between him and Glenn and just like a perception to see? I know he said about the 9 sisters, but is there any, like, particularly on Glenn, any like cleric-y things, or does he look more like a pally?
Yeah,
because I think you said he was in leathers or something.
Yeah. Give me a give me an investigation check. You're close enough that you're trying to work him out from close enough.
Never mind, it was a 5.
Oh. It doesn't look overtly bad. Preacher is in. I don't know. You would looking at Preacher, you recognize him as someone that is is from the older times of the like establishment of the of supporting the gods, like someone that's been around for a long time who would have been able to get armors, who would have been set up properly. You imagine where you look at Glenn, who's got a quarterstaff and a sickle as his weapons. He's in leather armors, no real chamber of that, but looks strong, looks like a capable fighter. But you can imagine if he's coming through the system and clearly is like the squire to preacher, there's no system like you had where you have a full chapter who have abilities to train you in the field, like train you with proper training, send you on combat training, armor you, give you weapons work. Like you were brought up in an area where you were, as you passed through the levels, you were given these things. You've gone through like a school, and clearly if Glenn is like a paladin, he's taken a very different path to you. He is using like farmer's tools as his weapons. He doesn't have the answer. You can see that there isn't the same setup in the south as there is in the north. So he clearly is the squire. You can see the way that as he looks and works with preacher, that he is under like a squire to him, a junior to him. But yeah, it doesn't look like he would have gone through the same training that he did. Just don't have the same setup.
So seeing him like that, I'll just ask him directly, are you Brotherhood too, Glenn?
He says, of course. We do what we can. Preacher is very, 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 very humble. We have to operate under that. We wish we could take the fight to the Talons. But there's not enough of us. So we help the people. The Talons aren't helping the people. The Talons are filling their people's heads with lies. But we do everything we can. We do everything we can with every resource we can get our hands on.
Very honourable.
Well, and he looks and says, that's the work of the preacher.
Willow smiles at the preacher. So what were you... Do you operate out of the Church of Easter often, or are you dotted around? I mean, we haven't spent much time in the Islet Kingdom just yet. We came down on a caravan and have had a little bother so far, but like what are you doing at the moment?
Glenn looks to you, preacher, and kind of gestures towards the map. He's like, shall I go through it?
Yeah, lay the map out. We can go over together.
Glenn rolls out this map that he just had rolled up, which is just like a sketch drawing, not great to scale, but the outer wall, the north bank, all the different sectors, and you can see where all the churches are marked up, and he will run you through all the 9 churches. So the steps is marked up as a safe church to be used. That is the one where they operate out of, they can preach out of. It's in the northwest. In the north bank where you came in the granary ward, there's a church over there. That one is not used for preaching, but is used for, getting hold of. It's the granary ward is where all the food comes in. They call it like the bread vaults, the whole area. So it's an area they can use to siphon off goods, store like food that needs to be had. It's almost like that church is used as their little food bank in the granary ward that goes in there. Grand Cathedral and the River Temple in the Islet Kingdom are off limits. They are fully Talon occupied. Grand Cathedral has been completely taken over, so no operation in the islet. There's another church all the way out, the Church of Agnes in the islet as well, which is anything on the islet is a no-go. And then in the south, they also operate out of the church. It's in the Broke Mile, which would have been, not that you guys know, is not far from where the East Road Charter Company is. But that is also their preaching church for the south. So preacher kind of works between the steps in the north, Rope Mile Walk in the south, and then uses the granary ward if they're doing deals or trying to get some people to you might have oh no, this bag fell off this thing and it broke and we didn't have that grain, but actually you've got a few people that will give over extras that is stored in the granary ward and then is distributed out to people. So you don't operate out of many areas, but that's what they kind of walk you through. But then there's just a big no-go area on the islet. It's when you're traveling through, it's scary shit. If you got going north to south, it's like, fuck, okay, how do we get through north to south and how do we not die today?
So as the map's rolled out and he's kind of explaining the key of it all,
Yep.
Willow will gently place her finger like on where the church, where Morgana's church was.
Yeah, the Square Cathedral.
And kind of look sad. But like you can see like her eyes are darting across straight to that point. And then she sees what the key is for that one.
Yeah, this is like a go. Yeah, Glenn says, no, not Grand Cathedral. It's a beautiful church, but that's where they hold their sermons. That's where the Talons pull the people in. That's where the Talons do their poisoning of the minds.
It's ironic, really, her being the goddess of fate, that they would choose that one. Have you heard any of the sermons of Ram? I can't say that I'm familiar with Ram at all.
Glenn looks and says, I would not let my ears be tainted with such lies. I don't need to listen to them to know what's going on.
Sometimes it's important, Glenn, to know thy enemy. Preacher, have you heard? Do you know what they are preaching?
So that's up to you whether you think you would have tried to... You would have heard certain sermons about the city when especially early doors when the priests were out. But a lot of what the priests were doing were trying to root out, in the early days, root out magic hunters. It was more like a witch hunt than it was a sermon. But yeah, up to you whether you think you would have tried to... Like, it wouldn't have been like necessarily sneaking in. If you're going, the Grand Cathedral is like, think St. Paul's Cathedral is fucking huge. So hundreds and hundreds of people would be going there every week for sermons. So it would be easy enough for you to go in and listen to one if you wanted to. It's whether you think your character would have listened to what was going on just out of understanding, or would have just always been like, I don't even want to take the risk, I don't want to go do it.
Okay. During the early days, I listened to a couple of their sermons, but as things got worse, I stopped. It was too much of a risk. Not when I've got work to do.
Willow nods. Willow looks a little uneasy on her feet.
Mm-hmm.
And just says, looks at the rest of her party. Says, I need to take a breath. This is all quite a lot. Do you mind, Preacher, if I have a sit down? Because she's just remembered that she's on 15 HP and needs to take a little bit of a short rest.
He'll say, help. I've got food and water in the back. Help yourselves. There's beds out there if you need to sleep. And if you just want to sit, you can take a seat on one of the pews. But we've got to keep it quiet and keep the light down. We don't really want to grab attention to this place.
As Preacher and Willow kind of get off and you start shooting around, see Glenn kind of looks to Gimbar, Merrin, still knows you guys are there. Says, wait, you came in on a caravan, so why are you here?
Well, much like you, we're fighting the good fight in our own ways.
Kind of looks, goes, what does that mean?
Means we all have one common enemy.
So you've come to the Islet Kingdom to fight the Talons?
Not straight up, no.
Well, obviously. There's only like 4 of you.
Stay with gathering information.
Gathering information. Okay. Well, we also gather information, and we also don't like the Talons, so that's good, at least. How long you here for? What's your plan?
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
13. Just looking for were these just genuinely suspicious of us because they've had troubles, or is he being?
You can't tell. With 13, you can't tell.
Yeah,
Looks like he's been genuinely suspicious of you. 4 people have turned up who've said they're just going to walk into the Talons, and when he's asked what you're doing, you said, "We're here to take on the Talons. We've got information." It's like kind of shady answer as well. So you can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see, but you can see he is essentially insight checking you out. He is investigating and being like, "Well, hang on a minute. Like, what have you all turned up with? Like, you're friendly enough, but what is your plan? You're all armed. Well, you're not. You're a monk, but it's like, well, hang on. What are you doing? This is not an army. 4 people cannot take on the Talons. So what is going on?" He's inquisitive.
Let's just say we're information gathering.
Okay, information
I
gathering.
don't know how long we're going to be here for. It could be a couple of days. It could be longer.
It really depends on whether we can succeed in what we're trying.
He goes, okay. Starts to like roll up the map a little bit again. He walks around, he's as you're like getting set, and he's like, "Oh, you've got pews here, and like the preacher said, there's beds out the back and food and water." As he kind of points you guys around, he walks around. Glenn walks around to you, preacher, and has the map in hand. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to hold on to this? Shall I put it away or shall I keep a hold of it?" And then he kind of says to you, "These guys are quite shady. Are we sure we trust them?" They say they
I
have
trust my
information.
I trust my counterpart in the Brotherhood. The other 3, we'll see, but they've done nothing untoward us, and
Okay.
I haven't detected any lies just yet.
I'll keep an eye out. He goes, "Okay. Oh yeah, I'll just wrap this up and put it back." Ties it back up, goes back, puts up the thing. As you guys can take a short rest if you want to take a short rest. As you have very basic supplies and a place to rest and stay if you need it for now.
I assume that the quality of the bed means we can't long rest.
No, if you're going to stay here, if you ask me, if you want to stay here for overnight and you want a long rest, you can long rest. Quality of the bed's fine. It's safe enough. The door's locked. This is whether you trust each other enough to stay in there. But yeah, if you guys are hunkering down here for the night now, and preacher is happy for you to do so, you could long rest there.
I want to say to Gimba, is it worth trying to get a long sleep in? We're relatively safe here, and Kos was watching the goods.
Well, it's been a while since we've got a proper rest. I guess good now's as good a time as any, because who knows what's ahead of us.
So I wasn't alone in those thoughts. Good.
No.
And I am going to go, unless anyone else wants to jump in.
Go for it.
I'm going to go to Preacher and just ask him for clarity. Excuse me, sir. Where did I overhear that there are beds?
Yeah, there's beds out the back and water and food if you need it as well. Help yourself. If you need if you want to stay for the night, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you. And I gesture to Gimbar towards what I assume is like a door or just like the area at the back that he referenced. Yeah. And I'm going to go try and long rest.
Nice.
Because man needs spell slots.
You can go inside. Yeah, there'll be like, it's like the back rooms, like what would have been originally like the the cleric space, but within there's loads of cots set up. So it looks like the preacher would have had it set up for a few people to be able to stay here if needs be. All of these churches are like little mini safe houses, essentially. Cool. So you guys start to get comfortable, take some short rest. You don't have to go to sleep now, but yeah, this is where you can long rest as you are there. So we'll go back to sneaky.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I will keep. I won't go back to where the beds are. I will stay out the front.
Yep.
Waiting around for the others to hopefully come join us.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll
So
chat to preacher after we come back to us.
Okay. Yeah. So you can stay. Preacher's got the key to the front. So you are locked in. So you are. In terms of you can stay out in the front to hear if someone comes to the church, but seeing is going to be nigh on impossible from inside. Just so you're aware. Because you're in a church with windows up high. But yeah, so we'll come back to the sneaky crab. So Koss, you and Hannah are in there. Hannah cracks straight to the bar. It's like a not quite an all you can eat, but she puts down a couple of silver and they serve up clear spirits and oysters. She cracks away into those. She's like, well, it's been a long time since we've been in a city and safe, so local delicacy. She's getting herself merry.
I'll have a beer or two, and then as I say, I want to try and start a conversation with that group that stands out a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can just say. So yeah, they are none of them are just in slightly nicer looking clothes. There's a few of them sat on a few different tables, so you can kind of wander up to them and make an introduction.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I am new to the city. I was wondering if I could talk to you about places of interest and things that might be worth visiting.
You see, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion is -1. That will be a 13.
13. Okay. Let me grab it. You see a kind of few of them stop and turn around and go, yeah, of course. Yep. Please ask away. Do you want to join us, or you want to just some local? I mean, if you want information on local areas, the barkeep is quite good, but we're more than happy for you to come and join.
Yes, if I could join you, that would be great. What are you all drinking?
They are all drinking wine.
I will order another round of wine.
Yeah, nice. They immediately perk up. They're like, oh, yeah, please sit down. Please sit down with us. Good to get a different perspective on conversations. We didn't think you were had been mixing much in the city, but please, sit down. How can we help?
You didn't think I had been mixing much in the city? I have just arrived.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yes. No, don't worry. So if you've just arrived, even better. We can give you we can let you know. Give you a walk through the city. What is it you'd like to know? What interests you and your I don't want to say your people. Your culture. What is it you are looking to experience from the Island Kingdom?
Can I do an insight check on them?
Yeah.
They keep it seems like they've seen someone like me before, and I want to know if that instinct is correct. That would be a 14.
14. They're not surprised to see you as others that you've been to places where people have never seen the Githyanki before. These people are not surprised to see you here, which means they either have seen or they've heard of Githyanki before.
Okay.
There's not that initial shock, or I mean, a few times you've probably been like called a skinny orc. But these people aren't like, oh, what the hell are you? They're just like, oh, okay, yeah, oops. So that you don't get that initial shock from them.
Okay. Well, I'll start by asking them about some of the recent history of the city and the goings on and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they will give you the rundown of. So they will tell you that they are, they work out of the they're like lower ranked in the tax offices of the city. So they work out the Forum Quarter, which is just down the road. It's not far away. So this is clearly where they go. But are not so. Clearly, they can't be that rich because they're not drinking in the Forum Quarter. They're drinking in kind of the poorer area. But they tell you about what's going on. They tell you that that they know that there's been a lot of movement. That there's this guard ramping up that's happening on. That there's they keep on the down low. They're like, oh, look out soon. But there should be something coming from the ring. They're expecting a large event to be happening. And usually these things are planned well in advance and well. Like publicized, but this one seems to be a last minute thing, and they've seen money's being moved quickly to orchestrate a spectacle at the ring that is going to cost the city a lot of money, and they are quite interested about where they think the money's going to come from. The rumor is they're going to be charging like only a copper for everyone to come and see it, because the Talons want everybody to turn up to this spectacle, so they're not worried so much about the price. And for them, they get very into like, but normally you'd be paying like 5 silver to get in, so only charging a copper, this is going to absolutely destroy it. Where are they going to get the money from to put this thing on? So that is a big topic, and that's what they were talking about. They were kind of going through rumors about what might be happening at the ring in the next couple of days. Other than that, they just give you some like hot spots to look out for. That is the islet itself is nice to go around, but make sure you're only going there in the daytime, because at night time they'll question you if you're going. The river is always nice to stay away from the south banks, where a lot of the merchants are. The actual hard graft happens. Fishmongers, like leather tanneries. The south docks it down as well. There's like the shoe cobblers and stuff. It's of lower quality stuff. If you want to buy bits, then the Merchant's Bridge is a good place to go. So yeah, they give you a few spots to go and look, to go and check out, tell you about them. But yeah, a lot of their conversation kind of, once they've gone through the highlights, gets back to this thing that this event that's happening, that is this must see, that the city and all the administration are moving really quickly to try and set up.
I'll order another round, and then I'll ask them, how do I put this? I had heard before from up north, where I am from, that this is the King's land, and the King's Guard patrolled, but I see 2 guard forces here. What is this about?
They'll be like, yes, very interesting. Well, the King's Guard they patrol still the cities. They still technically have the ruleship of the cities, each headed up by each of their respective King's Guard members. But recently there's been rumors that the King's Guard has maybe become a little corrupted. The King's brother apparently has been making moves against the King, and that has given the Talons a right to kind of step up. The Islet Kingdom's always been a little bit tenuous, though. The King's Guard tend to now just look after the Palace Ward, and they again like go through, like the Palace Ward is in the Islet Kingdom on the west side, like behind the wall, and the Talons are tend to be now the patrol force of the city, and then they will finish by saying, I know that they are training, they're going through this training exercise to reskill up the guard force here, and then they kind of say, and I thought isn't that what you're here to do?
You have obviously seen some of my people around.
I kind of look at you a little bit skeptical. You say, well, I mean, I haven't actually seen, but I've heard that you. I thought there was that aren't you here to train? I thought you were here in part of the training force.
I fear I have not been in contact with my brothers for a long time. I am a monster hunter. I heard a call that some of us were to gather here, but I haven't met up with anyone yet and received any details.
They kind of look at you like, oh, sorry. I assumed you had been stationed in the Riverside Barracks and just made your way over to explore the city. Not many of the of your kind of really ventured out. They haven't really mixed as far as we understand. Been a little bit of an enigma, but I believe they're all in the Riverside Barracks. They we've been keeping another one of these areas we've been sorting out the administration and the funding for is to pay the trainers of the new guard force.
Well, maybe you can tell me what I can expect to earn.
Well, I mean, you're not part of the guard force. They're your brothers, as you said. But no, we don't deal with the payment exactly. Just the overall shifting of the funds to make sure that there was some available to do so. But I mean, if you're here and can sign up, I think you'd have to speak to the Riverside Barracks to sign in. Also, I'm really not from that world.
Yes, I will have to check in with them. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome to the Islet Kingdom. And like I say, if you do catch up with your brothers, then please tell them to explore the city. We are a very welcoming people here, and despite some of the recent history, the Islet Kingdom is still a lovely place to live and work.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I think I must be off.
They're like, and thank you for the wine. They top up. Someone go.
I'll grab Hannah and tell her it's time to leave.
Nice. She is.
As we wander off, I will not mention the Keith Yankee at the barracks.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you were having a conversation with them, and she would have done 100% been listening to you.
But then she knows already.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. There was no.
There is no need to discuss it.
Yeah. As she gets back, she's like, so that's why they were looking at you. As you're like, fuck, of course she was listening. Like, what else is she going to be doing? That's literally her MO, is listening to other people's conversations when she shouldn't be.
Apparently. I will look into that later.
She'll be like, yeah, oh, that's good. So I should really be checking in, but I suppose we could do it tomorrow. What's the plan? Go find the rest of the group?
Yes, we will find them. Who will you be checking in with here?
Well, they should have. There's on the merchants, on the Guild Street, there will be some mercantile presence just to let them know we've arrived, or let them know I've arrived. Get the message passed back up north, if possible. But that would just be to let them know that we're here in case there's anything we need, any supplies we need to garnish. But we can do that whenever.
Excellent. Yes, let us find the others. How much did I pay for the wines?
It would be a gold. So it would have been 5 silver per bowl. They weren't very expensive wines.
Cool. Let's see if we can get there before year loss.
100%. Nice. So, yeah, so as you guys head back out onto the main road and head up towards you're looking for a large church in the steppes. Should be easy enough to find. You'll either find you or Yelos on the way, and we will find out. Because he's not rolling well.
I'm just waiting for him and Glenn to form a buddy cop duo.
Hey, I'm Yelos. No, I'm not doing 2. One of them's going to die. Cool. So back to the church. So those of you that want to get down and bed in for rest can take a long rest. Those who want to stay up and wait can do so. Glenn will make sure he's up and about. But yeah, we come back to you at the church as you've found some bedding. You've been able to get some water, some food, and share whatever information you want with each other. But yeah,
I think while I'll be waiting for hopefully a knock on the door or something, I'll be trying to, as close as possible, sketch down the automatons that I saw in the palace ward. Just kind of try and see if I can, in my own mind, work out a bit of how they might work from sketching them down.
Sweet.
Did you tell us you saw those when we were waiting?
I was waiting for everyone before mentioning it. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Remind me of that because I'll send you a sketch of what they actually look like.
Yeah.
So you have them.
Can I still ask what you're sketching?
Yeah.
You look over it. He's drawing turtles with big boobs.
And bagpipes.
It's like farmyard animals, but with massive tits.
Is his? I'm just disregarding everything you just said. Are his drawings, from what I see, is he good enough at art for me to be able to put to work out what it is?
No, I don't think. What, are you trying to spy every shoulder?
No, I'm just gonna go and sit next to him while he's drawing.
I mean, you just ask him what he's doing if you want. But yeah, if you're trying to work out what he's doing, you'd be being a bit nosy. You're being nosy.
Yeah.
Okay. Zero no.
Are
Willow's
they?
being nosy.
Well, was wait till everyone's here, but it's what I saw when I followed the Nimble Fingers crate.
Oh, the big one. Because
Yes.
I think before you told us that there was like big armor, like the size of
Yeah.
giants. Yeah.
No, well, this what I saw in there was a lot bigger than anything else I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, just like armor plates or?
No, they're like full automatons. Whether they were for people to climb in, I don't know. Whether it's powered. They weren't moving when I saw them, but it could be one or the other. It's nothing I've ever seen before. It's, well, I only saw 2 of them, but if they're building a lot of these things, that is not very good for all of us.
Why would they be? What would they be using them for?
At this point, I don't know. But I mean, you've seen what these sort of things can do on a small scale, like with Rufus. Imagine that on a huge scale.
And they're using them. You saw them in action, or?
No, they weren't moving. They were being worked on. There seems to be a load of gnomes in there working on other things in there as well. But that's where all the parcels went. So I assuming they are using the Nimble Finger stuff for these and other similar devices.
Frightening. I assume that Willow would have told Zilna already when we were waiting outside about Silent Ashes stealing the jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Talons haven't got the magical items but are building these machines, like how you've got shiny gloves, like is that how these things work, by using magic gems to make them come to life? Or I'm just trying to piece the things together here.
I mean, there's multiple different ways they can work, but so it depends on the scale they're looking to go with. I can't tell whether they will be manned or whether they will be of their own accord. So I want to get a closer look.
The other thing I think I forgot to mention to you, but the talk of these giant beings, and albeit robots, just reminded me that I've had word that remember I said about the giants and the thing that was flying overhead? It seems from folklore that perhaps that were giants travelling. And my understanding is that they've landed in the hill where the hill giants are from. Where Wilhelmina was from.
The hill dwarfs.
The hill dwarfs, sorry. What did I say?
Hill giants.
Giants.
Yeah, I meant bird dwarfs, sorry. Where Wilhelmina was from, I obviously tried to figure out if that would be a normal thing, which I think we all figured it wouldn't be, but she had no idea why there would ever be anything like that there. I didn't tell her, just for the record. So that looks like where they're going, or where they have been at least, but where she's from, she explained about it being kind of the place where they minted all the coins, and they're all about the bling and all of that sort of thing, so just another piece to an unnamed puzzle, I guess.
Well, yeah, we don't have a clue what part the giants are playing still, really, do we? All we know is that the other cargo was meant to be taken to Alba.
Yep.
But if
whatever,
they're not in Alba, then...
And if they're building roads and trade routes, and all we know is whatever the Talons are doing, they're doing it at large scales, and there's other large beings that we need to be aware of.
Nice.
Kind regards. I'm going to go and speak to the preacher. Willow will also, before she goes to sleep, absolutely snitch on everything that Zilna's just said to the Sending Stone.
Okay. Yeah, so write up what you want to send. As Kos, you and Hannah find your way through the steps, you find your way to it's getting dark now. There are some lights out around the streets, but it's quite easy enough to see the larger church that's there. But you come to the church, no sign outside of anyone there, and inside at first glance, the church looks like it's empty. What would Hannah and you yourself do on finding this church?
I'm gonna try the door.
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, as you leave, then Zilna, as you walk away from Zilna, you hear another knock at the door as everyone just stops and kind of looks at each other.
I'd like to think that I'm in the back, so I want to try and get some sleep because yeah, basically.
Glenn looks to you, preacher, and then looks to you guys, and is like, "Your friends, or?"
I will head towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
Look out the keyhole, I guess.
Yeah, as you look out the keyhole,
that's probably about a head height for me anyway, isn't it?
I mean, your eye line, this Hannah looking through, be like, "Open the door."
And I look back and nod, and like kind of just for them to bring it over the key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so preacher, you have the key for the door.
Yeah, I'll head up and I'll say to Zilna, "Are these guys are they part of your group?"
They are. I can vouch for them.
Okay. I open the door and I will. Yeah, I'll open the door, let them in, but I'll do the same as I did last time and check them out beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you open the door, you see a gnome, same height as Zilna, in a dark cloak, hood pulled up, kind of walks in, kind of nods and walks past. And then as Kos gets to the door, you just hear from behind you, Glenn just shout, "No, Talon!" And as he starts just running down the thing towards the door with his staff out, aiming it towards you, Kos.
I will pull my sword.
As he gets up in front of you, and you're there, as you kind of open the door, you see the same. Preacher and Glenn, as they look up and see Githyanki stood at the door, they immediately identify him as a threat, as an enemy. Glenn looks towards you, Zilna, and just says,
"He's not a Talon."
What
are you talking about? What do you mean they are Talons?
I have heard about this. Apparently some of my people are here to do some training.
What?
I look to Preacher and say, "He's one of our party. He's not a Talon."
Who is this man? Who is his assistant here with the stick?
They are friends of mine, cause they are looking out for us.
Glenn
says, "Tell them to put their weapons away."
Weapons down, all of you. As I look at Cos, get inside.
I will push past them, arrogant.
Well, Preacher, Glenn is looking. He's got his court staff ready, and he's looking towards you.
Glenn, put your weapon away. We'll trust Willow for now. but be wary. And then I'll start step to let him through, and then lock the door as he comes through.
Staying in fighting pose.
I'll look at Cos and say, we're trying to be secretive, so we're speaking in inside voices. And then to Glenn.
Before she says anything to Glenn, I'll say, boy, put your stick away.
You can see that he pulls the quarterstaff down to the side, but you can see Cos from his he's like he looks skinny, but clearly is like sinewy strong. This guy is like farmer strength. You can see from his forearms that he still has a good enough grip on his quarterstaff to twat you a bit if he needs to. But he moves it from like the turtles pose down to like just the side. But you can see that his body is still tensed enough that he could react if he needs to. He just nods.
Yes, I'll still be a dick to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. But yeah, he looks slight of frame, but looks skinny. You can see from his arms that he is not relaxed fully as you walk past. As you kind of move back, Glenn again will look to you, Preacher, and just say, "Preacher, I don't like this."
I think I would have probably come out of the back at this point here in the commotion.
T-shirt on, no trousers. What's going on? Big ginger bush, little thumb poking out of the bush. And all that bombshell. Take a break. Right, take a quick break here with everyone back in. Yelos is not here. Yelos
I
nowhere
was
to be
going to
seen.
say,
Yeah. So definitely.
And I would like to say before we go for a pee break that the commotion has woken Merrin's attempts to sleep, and
you would have heard Glenn shout.
What's going on.
Yeah, you'd have heard someone shout Talon. And then, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wicked. So, we'll take a pee break and then come back.
Just picture Merrin stood by this door with a glowing sword.
Oh, so a thumb poking through a bush and a glowing sword.
No comment.
Somebody mentioned reach around.
Disgusting.
Trying to remember what your voice is meant to sound like is really hard.
Yep.
I don't know how you guys do it.
I did a bit for the first campaign and then I just stopped. When my character died.
I'm enjoying it. It's just I need to practice more.
Yeah. Son of a preacher, man.
I could go, oh, I'm Southern Bill. Good sir.
I think you should. I do declare.
Oh, sir, you take my chastity away from me. Oh, it's so warm.
Not too bad up there.
Oh, it's fucking. Well, I had my door closed and I just opened it for a bit to get some fresh air.
Hello.
Hola. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it open for a bit and then close it again in a minute.
In the middle of our Preacher Brotherhood chat, I had to close all the windows because there were crackheads smoking crack under my window.
Your window?
Yeah, it's just the stress of another Brotherhood member.
Just drop some water out there.
No. I don't know where I live.
There's nowhere you live already. They're outside your window.
They don't know I'm in here. I wasn't hanging out of it shouting at them because they weren't pissing on the bins. So.
Probably the same people that piss on the bins.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not. You could sort of understand if they're off their nut, but normally it's just fucking scumbags. Hasn't happened for a long time, just to be clear.
Scummy bags.
Right. Where is Eros?
That's exactly what I'm going to ask Hannah as soon as we're back.
He's on an adventure.
I'm having the time of my life.
Was Hannah with Cos then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. She went in first.
Just want to point out, I brought Hannah into your church, and I don't care, Kins.
And that's fine, Weaver, because guess who's going to be on the phone to Sainsbury's tomorrow cancelling every order to your area. Good luck eating your Calippos, bitch.
How funny.
Joke's on you. I haven't placed my order yet.
Just let us know when
She
you
won't be able to. I'm gonna get you banned.
she can get blacklisted for Sainsbury's.
And Asda, now that you know that there's Pepsi Lime. You're going to have to go outside and collect your own shopping.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. That's actually quite scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite scary. Wicked. Everyone back? Everyone else good?
Where's Yelos?
Yelos is lost. Yelos knew roughly where he's going, but
You mean year lost?
you're lost, baby. Okay, done. Back. Nice. So preacher, you shut the door, relock. You and Glenn are aware of the Githyanki and what they have been doing in the town, and you are choosing to trust at the moment. But you can see Glenn is very uneasy with this decision, as you are now all inside, with Merrin being woken up, all inside the Church of Istra in the steps. All, of course, except Yelos.
I will just brush past them and say, Gimba, I was hoping to see you. And then explain about the road building company and the argument between the guards and them.
Yep.
And how all the stuff's stored there.
Yes, that guy we rescued on the canal offered him his... Well, he offered me a job and said if I could vouch for anybody else, that this likely work for all of us.
And maybe a way to track the goods.
Yes, exactly. You said there was an argument?
I'll explain about the argument.
Yeah. So yeah, it just looked like the Talons had been patrolling for like a few of the hours, had been guarding, and then were removed to their dismay from the facility.
To the guards' dismay or the company's dismay?
To the guards. Borash was very annoyed, claiming that he has a right to patrol in there and he would speak to his superiors about this. But whoever was inside just kicked them out. Yeah. So the people, the East Road Charter Company kicked the Talon guards out of the facility once it got to a certain time.
Right.
And that seemingly has pissed off Borash. And then the 10 of them made their way back to the Palace Guard. Back to where you assume a lot of the Talons are headquartered.
And then I'll turn around. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, certainly we can take that route if we need to. Get work there.
Yes, it is an option. And then I'll turn around to Willow and say, who are your friends?
Cos. I'll look at Hannah, I suppose. Hannah, this is Preacher, Glenn. They've, on our side, they have kindly taken us in. This church is not in use, so we're using inside voices to not try and alert people to us being here. Preacher, Glenn, this is Cos and Hannah. 2 of the 3 that I mentioned are part of our party.
Mm-hmm.
As this is happening, I want to kind of make my way from the room. I'm going to unfrodo my sword. And I want to walk up and say, "Are we, what's going on? Are we under attack?"
No, a mistake. Cos arrived and Glenn thought he was a talent.
But what? Why? Or have we not got that far yet?
All the give Yankee in our area work for the talents. Costs. I know this is a bit presumptuous, but to put myself and Glenn at ease, would you be okay if I cast a spell around you called Zone of Truth, so we can just prove that you don't work for the talents?
I have been fighting the Talons for weeks now with these people here. That is good enough for them. It is good enough for you. It is strange, though, to have heard of so many of my people in one place at one time. I do not know how this is possible.
And this is why we're worried, because we haven't seen anyone other than your friends or other people like you working for the talents.
You've got nothing to hide,
Yes,
right,
you
Gus?
should be worried. They are dangerous.
I said, Gus, you have nothing to hide, I guess, Gus. So why not submit to the... Just to put their right minds at ease.
I do not know them. I do not care if their minds are at ease.
You should, because they're helping us in an incredibly dangerous town. City.
Sorry,
What
I'm
if we...
cheese.
Ooh, what kind? What if we agree that the only question is whether you're working for or with the Talons, and after that you can step out of the zone?
I'll immediately cancel the spell.
This is insulting. But I will do it because I do not want to have to kill your new friends.
Thank you, Cos.
I'm sorry for putting you through this, but we have got a little bit of heat from the Talons. We just need to be careful.
Hurry up.
I cast Zone of Truth and just ask Cos if he works with the Talons or for the Talons, and that's it.
What is Zone of Truth?
You don't have to answer, but if you answer, what's the word inside? It's like you don't have to answer, but if you answer, it has to be truthful.
And I believe you have, or at least you used to, have to do a saving throw, but you choose to fail the saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, true.
And as mentioned, you can't lie, but you're not forced to tell the truth. So you can give half answers or indeed refuse to answer.
I'll just say no.
Sorry for putting you through that. Glenn, you can relax now. And then I'll say to Cos and Hannah, food's at the back, they're sleeping cots. Please keep it down, and we got to be careful.
I will take Hannah aside.
You should have Zone of Truth her. She's a bitch.
And we'll kind of speak hushed away from the group.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume the fact that Yelos is not with you, that we've got rid of him?
Oh, no. We sent him back. We sent him back first. He should be already. Has he not arrived?
So the only other person that knows of us has been sent off on his own and has not come back.
It was. I mean, we gave him instructions, but he's not the brightest spark. I'm sure we can find him.
I will also take out the sender stone out, and I will destroy that replicate item so that he hasn't got the other one on him.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should try and find him. Also, I have more news to report back. So if we can get messages out at some point, we should do.
Yes, well, she says, well, yeah, in the morning we can find ourselves Yelos. He's probably walking the streets. But we can make our way over to the Mercantile Guild Hall. I can check in there, make sure that they know there's operatives working in the area, see if we can get any support, any information we need. And there's messages that need to be sent off, we can send them from there.
Okay. Well, let's hope that Talons don't get hold of Yelos beforehand, I guess.
Well, I mean, he's yes. He's not that stupid. He seemed pretty keen, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, when people start getting questions, they may not. Well, that's a bridge we have to cross.
As long as he doesn't start a fight with anyone, I don't think he's getting himself into too much trouble.
Okay.
When I can see the gnomes are talking, sorry, Zona, are you still speaking to her?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm done.
I want to get the preacher on his own.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not a massive church and we're all just like scuttling off to little corners to whisper to each other, but
yeah.
And just say to him like, thank you for doing that to Trust Cos. He is part of the party and it's concerning that Githyanki are working for Talons. And then is he a human?
Preacher?
Preacher, yeah.
Yeah, he's human.
Okay, cool. So I'll look over at, is everybody else away from me?
Yeah, as far as I can. And there's not enough space here to be like unseen by anybody, but yeah, you can move to another set of pews or to a corner.
Yeah, I'll have it so that we're doing that. And then I'll just say really quietly, Hannah, she's not a part of the original group. She's been very helpful and useful in tight spots that we found ourselves in, Talons and other threats. And then even quieter, but be careful. I don't fully trust her.
Thank you for telling me. Let's just keep that between me and you, because I think if we were to tell Glenn, he would give away that we're watching.
He's a little skittish, but I like his passion.
He's one of the best helpers I've had in years, and he believes in what we do, and he'll go far as long as he carries on the path he's on, and we can get him some better gear.
How long has he been working with you? Did you find him here in the steppes, or is he somewhere else?
That's a good question. He's been with me for a few years.
He would have been originally one of your flock, so he would have turned up to your sermons, and then made the decision, almost based on your sermons, to leave and move to the city and join the Brotherhood. You kind of indoctrinated him into the Brotherhood's ways. But yeah, he originally would have just been part of the flock. His family would have come to the sermons, would have come to Istra. Normally, he's from a farming family. But then with everything going on, he wanted to do more. And then instead of staying and just being a farmer and ignoring what was going on, he decided to take action. Became your helper, your squire.
As he tells me that, I smile and I think of Bida.
Mm-hmm.
I say, it's funny, it's been so long since I've been able to even think of the gods. And yet, within a few days, I've met people of Clementine, and I'm back here in the Church of Istra. I feel comfort, but it's also really highlighted how much danger we're really in. What are your plans? You say about the Githyanki and all of these other people working for Talons. Did we get told about the big event happening? I don't think we know that yet, do we?
No, a few of you know of it, but I don't think anyone's.
We've not chatted about it. Okay.
I'll do that.
Oh, that seemed the least important thing to me, so I haven't bothered.
So our next, our steps are just doing what we can and being where we need to be to feed people. But we have got a couple of things, like you saw on the map, that we're working towards. There's a large event coming up at the ring. The guard forces have ramped up their they've ramped up the amount of people there, and rumors on the street are that the Brothers King has been caught. So we're quite worried to see what happens there.
I'm sorry, did you say he's been caught?
That's what the rumors are. He's been caught.
Oh goodness. Do you know why they've tried to catch him? Are you aware of that?
I don't think
none of you would be. And the King's, it's like an interesting, it's a strange one for you as well, because the King Guard aren't good necessarily. So it's interesting. These rumors interested you because the King's Guard, there's a rift between where you thought the King's Guard and the Talons were quite close. This proves that there must have been a rift in there. So that's the interest to you, that there's something going on between the King's Guard and the Talons, who you thought were like best friends, but clearly there's a rift if the Talons are making a move against the King's brother. So it's like big news for the city, big news for the country of the South. But in terms of you, it's a bit like, oh, two people I don't really like that much are fighting each other, so is that so bad? But I don't think you have any other details other than that.
So
that's just for Preacher. That's how in the Island Kingdom it would be seen. Obviously, the rest of you know about the King's brother.
Yeah, I don't think any of us look particularly shocked.
You're not there.
Hey, where's he sitting again? Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, no, so you're having a private conversation.
God. When I'm stealing everyone's conversations.
No, it's fine. I can call the others over when he says about that bit.
Where is Merrin at this point?
I'm with yous.
You're still back out here, you haven't gone back?
Yeah, because I'm on edge now. I mean, he's a nervous individual. Now he's had that ruckus, he won't be able to sleep for days.
I think I'll probably turn to you after seeing everyone back and saying, where's your boy?
My boy?
From the boat, the one you were working with.
He was with Koss and... He was with Koss? Koss?
What did you say?
Where is Yelos?
Oh, we sent him back hours ago. I do not know why he is not here.
Did you tell him the way?
We said go north, there is a church.
He has the sending stone, right? I gave that to him. He hasn't used it, right?
No, we didn't hear anything.
Zona?
Not anymore.
What,
I already sent a message to it earlier on anyway, so we wouldn't be able to message back now. But
He is fine. He is somewhere on the street. We will find him tomorrow.
He may just be a corpse by then.
I mean, no offense to him, but that's better than him being caught by the Talons.
What do we do if he gets caught by the Talons? He knows where we are. He knows what we've done.
Exactly.
So that's a loose end that we probably should have got rid of beforehand. No offense to him, but
Or he could have joined us. Cos, this is on you.
We sent him back. If he get lost, it is not my fault. He is a grown man.
Barely. Well, unless we want to go hunting the streets, there's nothing we can do about it right now.
He will turn up. Do not worry.
I'm not worried about him turning up. I'm worried about if he shares anything but before then.
Who will he share with? It is the middle of the night. He will be asleep on a bench somewhere.
Fine.
Would Preacher would have overheard any of that conversation?
Yeah.
Really? We're in indoor voices and he's having a private conversation with Willow.
Oh, if you have it at the same time as the private conversation, then no. But Glenn would have had it.
Well, I assume we wouldn't just be standing there watching these two have a conversation. That would be pretty weird. They just turn around and there's like 4 people just standing looking at them.
We're just having our own conversation over here, quite close. No, if you have it at the same time, then Preacher wouldn't, but I think Glenn would probably be trying to listen.
do we notice Glenn being close by then?
Would you be looking? Glenn's about. It's just whether it's how much he picks up or not. It's not like he's stopped and listening in, but yeah. It's not a big enough space to be having, without obviously going away and whispering, if you're just having normal conversations. It's a big empty church where you're trying to whisper, but it's still a big empty church.
It just carries across the whole place.
Yeah, that wasn't quiet. I think it was just normal voices. I wasn't trying to whisper.
Yeah.
So when the preacher mentions about the king's brother being caught,
yeah,
and he's kind of, and then I kind of stop and say, when I say like, you know, I can't remember what I said, but you know, he's been caught. You know what that means. You get that, right? And at that point, when I say he's been caught, I'll speak in normal volume.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you. Jordan.
Who's been caught?
I beckon them to come over. There's a preacher.
I step 1 foot forward.
Yeah, we were right behind you the whole time.
I made it clear that mine was a whisper. It was brotherhood chat. None of you are invited. Now you're being invited over.
Maybe we don't make them over.
Oh, I was going to say that exact same thing.
Maybe you can go and sleep outside. Preacher has just... I'm trying to keep up momentum of the lore here because we're getting a good lore dump and a connection to the preacher. The preacher just mentioned that there's a big event happening, but that the king's brother, he's been caught.
What do you mean by caught?
Well, the rumours I'd assume preacher are by the talents.
I mean, he did lose one of his strongest guards.
R.I.P. Thorn.
No R.I.P. Thorn. No.
It's a trap. Charge.
Captured, as in arrested, or did he commit a crime?
Well, I think we might know what the crime might be.
This isn't good because he also knows everything. At least of what our mission is.
There must be some kind of schism between the Kingsguard and the Talons. Maybe we can use your dead friend as a way to make friends with the Kingsguard.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yes, I am a genius.
I imagine that Preacher might look a little bit confused because we're suddenly now talking about the King's brother like we know the Prince.
Yep.
So I'll kind of look to him and say...
Didn't none of you know he was the King's brother, though? I thought Merrin was the only one that recognised him. Oh, I did tell you guys. Yeah.
That'd be magic Kennels where you never share that information. But, oh, shit.
That would be such a previous character thing to do.
I know.
Preacher, the mission that we mentioned, although we're not all part of the Brotherhood, we're the joint mission. We worked with the King's brother. He mentioned we wanted to see more about what the Talons were doing. The common enemy that we have is them.
Willow.
What?
Are we okay to share this information?
He's the Brotherhood. He's taken us in. And I'm the Brotherhood.
This is funny because you do not trust my friend over here who is not Brotherhood, who is like Zilner and I. I point towards Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Me? No.
So anyway, sorry, Willow, you were monologuing or something.
Maybe you could monologue, Merrin, and maybe we'll be here for 10 minutes.
Whoa.
I think that's a hate crime. I legitimately think you've just committed a hate crime.
Don't care. I'll roll for my oath. I'll roll for my oath. I don't give a shit.
Glenn sidestepped up to you, Preacher, and he's just like, these guys are so dysfunctional.
Yes, I do.
We were that. Not that good.
We've been doing all right, I think.
I do trust him because he's Brotherhood. I trust everybody as much as I possibly can, but arguably, I don't know why Hannah has turned up. I don't know what you guys are doing outside of what we're trying to do as a group. The Preacher has been kind enough to take us in, to keep us safe from the Talons after everything that's just happened. He's telling us about an event with the King's brother. We're all on the same team.
If you trust him, then that's good enough for me.
I know you're putting some trust in me and Glenn, and we won't betray your trust. We swear to the gods, and we'll say some little like oath or
somebody else said something similar and then ran away in the middle of the night.
I heard he's a very handsome guy who like those special spell. Oh well.
So to get back on point before I rudely interrupted, the King's brother, we're working with him against the Talons. We've,
and I look to everyone else.
We've met him.
I did not meet this man.
What did you guys? What was your? Why did you meet the King's brother? And God no. And what was your mission for him, if you had one? We don't have to go through ages.
It's fine. I'm trying to find my notes, and I opened the wrong program.
Willow's then looking between the Preacher and Hannah because she can't remember if Hannah actually was told any of this information. Because she knew that there was the Talon tracking.
Yeah.
But from the mercentiles rather than from what they were doing.
But the Mercantile were at that meeting as well.
So we could assume that she would know, but
if she didn't know, it's at the meeting with the King's brother, the Mercantile, the Silent Lashes, the Brotherhood, the Watchers. At the King's
so she would know. She would know that we all came together at a meeting, and then we've been tasked with the Talons
She knows
tracking.
there's a reason that all the groups are working together, but her actual mission is to track the cargo. Her
Like,
mission
even
is
if
fail-safe.
she doesn't know and it's not like she's going to report it back to the mercantile and be like, I found out this information. It's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know.
We sent them on that.
That's true.
But is she fully mercantile, or is she also something else?
Talon.
You're a Talon. You're a Talon. Everyone's a Talon.
What? But yeah, as Ilna says, even if she didn't know that information, she's learning it now. It's not going to go anywhere from her that the other people aren't already aware of.
So then, to Preacher's point, we were just trying to find out more about what was happening. We did have someone from the Kingsguard with us. His right-hand man, Thorn, but he died.
Ooh.
Thorn Varric, I'll say his full name.
Yeah, give me a history roll.
Yep.
Preacher. Ooh, cool.
Oh, God damn it, 9.
9. You don't, but you hear a let out of air from Glenn. He's like, he recognizes the name.
Glenn? Did you recognize the name?
Sorry. Yes, Preacher. Yeah, Thorn was one of the guard. He was a King's Guard for a long time, but way before the Talons. He was a well, from what my dad used to say, he was a good man.
It's a shame we've lost a good man then.
And a strong fighter.
He died to Thunderclaw.
He kind of like furrows his brow.
I don't think I would know that either, would I?
Yeah, there's no point in rolling. You wouldn't know.
He was a half dragon.
And Glenn's like the ones that fly around the sea.
Different. Those are more like. Do I know wyverns? I don't know.
No, because we went through a few of you could identified that they were dragon. They were dragon-like, but I don't think. Actually, I was thinking about it, I don't think anyone really would know wyverns per se. But you know that they were flying and they were hunting like beasts, not walking around fully armored having a chat. So you assume there's some difference between wyverns and the half dragons. The half dragons were more like super buff, or lesser scale dragons, or super buff dragonborn, however you want to look at it, rather than like a beast. They were like a humanoid. They had their own. They communicate. They had words. They were closed in armors. Those wyverns seemed to be just beasts that were hunting.
I'll explain that to Glenn.
Glenn looks scared. Give again, Preacher. Give me another history check.
8.
8. No, there's not been much that you guys have picked up in terms of dragon movement in the city. So when Thunderclaw is mentioned, when they're kind of like you've seen the wyverns, you've seen these dragon-like beasts that have been perched up in the islet, that have been hunting around the north and city and south, and they've caused a bit of a problem for the farmers and such with like stealing animals. But they seem to be like beasts that are controlled. You haven't seen any or heard of any half dragons or movement, or even really like you wouldn't have seen much, if any, dragonborn movement. So the mention of dragons and dragon-like creatures is fresh news to you, linked to the Talons. The Talons that you have known and fought against and been hiding from are mainly humans or humanoid creatures that have been hunting out magic users and either locking them up or making examples of them, and then preaching the words of Ran. That they have been trying to convert people. So in the Islet Kingdom, it's mainly been humanoids, and the fight you've been doing is trying to preach the Nine Sisters and keep people believing in the Nine Sisters, versus these huge sermons that go on in the Grand Cathedral. But you've been dealing with like human to human threat, not like no dragon abomination, no dragons, no nothing like that. The wyverns turning up. The wyverns have probably been here for half a year max. So very, very new, them turning up, and they were explained away as being protection for the king. But they are like those as dragon threats in the Islet Kingdom. That's very new. That's like 6 months for you, where you've been fighting the Talons for like 10 years.
Yeah, we've not seen any dragonborn, these half dragons. It's just been your normal run-of-the-mill Talons. The wyverns have been here for the last 6 months, but we try to avoid the Talons as much as we can anyway. So
Well,
yeah,
I don't think it's the Talons on their own. There's multiple different parties moving parts up north, which is probably why you haven't seen this sort of activity down south. But that may well be on its way down here as well.
When's the event planned for?
Glenn says, no news yet. We assume it's not going to be tomorrow, but maybe the day after. All we've heard is that the guard force is going to be there. As soon as it is announced, it means there's going to be a lot of guards around the ring, a lot of guards on the islet. So if it's a chance for us to make moves across the city with less guard force, hopefully, because they're all going to be supporting whatever's going on. But we assume it's going to be more than a day's notice. But the last we heard, next couple of days.
because we were looking to use that as a distraction to free the talons of some magical items that are being delivered to the barracks. But me and Glenn can't really do it on our own.
We've got magical items being delivered to the barracks.
Yes.
Yeah, Glenn's like, yeah, we know the talons in the city have stockpiles of contraband, of stuff that they've taken, and the rumor was that with the upskilling, the extra training that's going on by the Githyanki, that there was extra armaments being moved out of storage there. We assumed it was weapons or protection of some sort that we were going to try and, I don't know, stop making its way there, make its way into our hands if we can, try and rebalance the power. We haven't seen any movement out of Talon's contraband for years. So if they are moving it, then it was our chance to try and get some. But there was a delivery that happened today, and there seemed to be extra things that turning up. The delivery today was of like, it seems to be of like swords and shields and armament, but these, we've heard that this is more niche, more magical in nature.
I look at Zelna as if they're maybe on about the automatons. I don't say anything back, so I'll give that look towards Ilma.
I guess I can pick up on what you're saying, looking at it. So I don't think that would be the sort of thing that goes there.
Yeah, to the barracks.
Who was it? Who was watching it with? It was just Perros with the ones with the is it the Amber Girl had like the more specialist weapons?
Yeah, it was just Peril and the barbarians.
I can't remember if he ever told us what was in the.
Because the Ember Coil ones went with the normal weapons, didn't they?
Ember Coil and the split weapon. So the stuff, the basic, the more basic weaponry, swords, daggers, armaments, stuff, basic blacksmith goods, and the more specialized weapons, both went on the same delivery carriage, but you didn't track where they all went.
Yeah.
But what Glenn is saying is there was a delivery made to the barracks today, but that was not the delivery they're looking for. They are expecting to be a smaller delivery not from the docks, but from the like contraband warehouses of the Talons, from the Palace Guard to the barracks. So it's not a long delivery route. It's literally out, up across the bridge and in. But he said, oh yeah, we there was a delivery today. That was not the delivery.
Yeah. Well, Marion, you was with the normal weapons, wasn't you, on the cargo?
Yes, I know they're going to the Talons, but we made a decision to follow the.
Yeah.
So
they're probably what's gone there.
Well, it was big. There was lots.
The only cargo that was unaccounted for was that Peril was with, right? So I guess that could very well be what it is. They must know where that went.
Well,
I'd ask Preacher if he's come across the Silent Ashes at all. In much of them in the Isle Kingdom.
Silent Ashes. Yeah, so without rolling, Preacher, you will have heard of and heard the work of the Silent Ashes, and they are like enemy of my enemies, my friend. You've never had a run-in directly with the Silent Ashes, but you know that they have made some moves to disrupt and try and get magical items away from the Talons. So they've not done too much in the city itself, but you've heard of hits on the docks, hits close and around the north of the city, where red cloaked figures have been marked as the assailants who have tried to steal magical weapons.
And if he's ever come across the name Rad before.
I think
Preacher and Glenn, I guess.
Yeah, Preacher. I don't think Preacher and Glenn have had any face-to-face dealings with the Silent Ashes.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, you know that they operate and that they roughly do. They are also against the Talons, but you've never had a need. Your Preacher and Glenn are very are community first and operate against the Talons in a we are going to look after the people, feed the people, where the Silent Ashes are like, ooh. So you'd have heard about the shop exploding today, and you'd have heard about things like that in the past, like use of magic in the city to derail shipments or steal shipments. It's always been the attacks have always been like allocated to the Silent Ashes. They are known in the city as like these guys that come in to disrupt the Talons, but in a very violent way, which good in one instance, like they're disrupting the Talons, bad that like you would then normally go on a clear up crew after to be like, what did they blow up this time? Who did they hurt? Who was a civilian? Like is there anyone that needs help because their house has just been exploded by a Silent Ashes being reckless with magic in the city? So for you, Preacher, it's like a bit of a, yes, they're attacking the Talons, but they're a bit reckless with how they do it. But you've never had a need to be face to face with them or work with them.
So what's the plan for the morning? We
need to find Yerlos for certain.
True. Do we look to go towards the shipments or the supplies sent to the barracks, or?
We need to keep an eye out for this other supply going there. If it didn't go with those initial weapons, then tomorrow is likely to be when it goes.
And do we split up, or do we stay as a group?
You do not want to try and steal a shipment from my people. If they are there, it will be bad.
What about setting it on fire? If only we had someone who knew fireball.
I think after what happened today with me and Willow, I think it might be best if we all stick together. At least at first, anyway.
So we do, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But we do have a lot of things we need to cover tomorrow as well. We need to get eyes on the palace. We need to get eyes on the yard outside the palace to see what they're actually working on fully. That may lead into the other shipment as well.
The palace has guards patrolling on the wall constantly, and guard towers and the like. You will not be able to stand outside staring for long.
I don't plan to just stand outside staring.
Are they Kingsguard or Talons?
There's a mixture of both.
The Talons are everywhere.
There is a lot of gnomes working in there. I'm thinking if I can get an idea of movement, get an idea of the movements of the gnomes, see if I can maybe get myself in there at some point, but that's a long-term plan to kind of get an idea of what it is.
All gnomes may look the same to others, but the other gnomes will figure out they do not know you.
Surely the same could be said for your people.
Yes, I will approach them separately. I will not pretend to be one of them.
But yeah, I mean, we will probably need to report in as well, now that we're here.
And Preacher? That is your name, I think I overheard. Will
that
you
is not a name, it is a job title.
I do not have a witty retort. Will you be joining us now that you are aware of our mission?
If there's people in need, I'll be there to help. And if we can help others by taking back some magical items, then I'll be happy to help.
Herb, what? Sorry, I didn't realise you weren't finished.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Herb, what time is it now?
Late into the evening.
Okay.
It'd be like around the midnight hour. After you got in and had a bit of rest and caught up with everyone. So yeah, it's the middle of the night now.
now we have some basis of a plan. I'm gonna try and get some rest. Please, no more shouting.
And
we will wake you if Yelos arrives.
Thank you, Gus.
And I'm gonna go and try and go back to the bed I claimed.
Cot.
Immediately after telling him that we tell him if Yelos arrives, I will also go to the back and get into a bed.
Not the same one, I hope.
I want that reach around.
Nice. Yeah, you have a few strings you can pull on. You have the city knowledge that the preacher and Glenn can share to help you get around, find places if you need to find places. But yeah, there's some information that can be gathered tomorrow, and yeah, there's supposedly some action coming down the road, so you can all take a long rest here for the evening.
I mean, you're not making us roll d6s before we do?
No, you're in the safety of these guys that know exactly what they're doing. Does this work? This is the machine you saw, Zilna.
Okay.
That is, I think it would be under a large or maybe giant. I can't remember the exact scale, but it's you could sit inside that belly about 4 times over.
Okay.
I sense a mini.
No, it's just a picture.
6 minis already done.
What? Yeah, I'm starting to poison myself. But yeah,
Can I send
actually turning
home before I go to sleep?
Yep.
Wyverns on islet, automatons delivered to palace, magic items delivered to barracks, Githyanki with talons, king's brother is caught, big event happening soon, met preacher.
Okay.
Do you need her to repeat any of that?
No, I could have written down.
I've typed it.
If we had a bard, they would sing "Son of a Preacher Man" right now.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Well, there is no part. All right, so you'll go to sleep quietly. You get a response back saying, "Good intel. Good intel. Assume preacher is Brotherhood. Look after those that are look after our own. What of the talent delivery is this final? Is Islet Kingdom final destination?"
Cool.
Nice. Sweet. So you can also take a long rest. That's it. It's fairly comfortable. These are cots that are used, that are set up by Preacher and Glenn and the Brotherhood to be used in case people need to be hid here, or there's people moving around or whatever it is, but there's enough beds for everyone to take a bed each. It's not overly warm, but it is inside the back rooms of the Easter Church that is no longer being used, up in the northwest of the city. So you are all here and accounted for. You can all get a nice night's rest. Press your long rest buttons, apart from Yelos, who is somewhere in the city. Oh, okay. Sweet. So you wake up the next morning.
Hopefully he's passed out in a bush just round the corner.
Hopefully. Nice. So you wake up in the morning. You would have gone to bed. You would need your 8 hours. So yeah, you're not up as early as you would be ordinarily, like with the sun. Or you have been getting up with the boat. You have to sleep in a little bit longer. But yeah, 8-9 o'clock you'll be able to rise and start deciding what you do for the day. As the day is yours. So who would like to do what, where, and go where in the city, or you're all staying together?
I think Preacher would probably get up pretty early and just start making breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting it ready for everyone. Like,
what's on the menu?
Just what do they have in the child world?
Duck.
No, duck.
Duck sandwiches, bacon sandwiches.
Duck sandwiches.
Yeah, just your basic breakfast stuff.
Okay.
Something warm as well.
Yep. Nice. So yeah, as you guys start to wake, you don't remember, like there's not a lot of facilities here, but there is the smell of very tasty food being cooked up for breakfast as you all arise and see that Preacher has provided a nice breakfast for you. No porridge like you've been having on the recent days. Gives you something nice and hearty to get stuff going for the days. So yeah, as you get prepped, breakfast is consumed. You can make your plans for the day. Who is going where and who is doing what?
Well, obviously, I want to go search for year loss.
Mm-hmm.
Over breakfast, I'm going to say,
Are we splitting up then, or staying as a group?
I think we need to find year loss first before anything else.
Yeah,
I think I should find out what is going on with the Yankee. But it would be best probably if the rest of you did not come along to that.
Inside chat.
Yep.
Yeah, he's always done the zone of the truth, so I don't really need to. I just want to say it.
we haven't said it for 25 minutes, so someone better say it.
I think it would be easier for Koss to go alone, and he'd get less questions from the Githyanki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I think Merrin would take that on board without even questioning it. It makes sense.
So year loss first, and then explore and find out what we can in the daylight.
Yes, I think after hopefully we find year loss, and then it's a massive town to search. So
Yeah, it's the city.
Koss, where did you see him last?
I'll tell them where we saw him last. Outside the road company, the East Road Company, or whatever.
Yeah.
And Preacher, are there any other churches in the city?
Yeah, there's
It's a lot.
there's a few churches, but they're only not normally manned by anyone. I kind of use them as and when.
If he was told to go to a church, that's probably our best option first.
Let's just hope it's not the Grand Cathedral.
Bit of
How many
pulls
churches
up
are there
sound.
between the East Road Company and here, if you go north from there?
It's just the ones on the Island Kingdom, right?
Yeah. Unless he stopped straight away, which would be pretty stupid of him. So yeah, there's 1, 2.
He was
3,
very stupid.
4. There's 3 others he goes on to.
one of which is the Grand Cathedral.
One of them which is the Grand Cathedral.
I would like to think he was at least smart enough to not go to the Grand Cathedral.
He isn't stupid. Wait, is he stupid? No,
He is, but I don't think he's that stupid.
he's not that stupid. No, he's got 14 intelligence. He's pretty switched on, and he was trying to get back. He just doesn't have any sense of the city. So yeah, it just unfortunately didn't get back.
Okay, so we find year loss. Gimbal and Merrin, do you need to check in at all with your people?
Gimbard.
Yes, no?
Gimbard died in his sleep.
Merrin,
Yeah. Yes.
do you need to check in with your people?
I do not know who our contact in this city is. It may have been told to us, but Gimbal's better with the details.
Sorry, Gimbal. I really did piss. Yes, there's.
Go outside, not in the corner.
I did.
So it took him so long.
Well, out the window. Yes, there is contact I could do in the city, but certainly finding your loss is a first protocol. Maybe if we're near the same area, we could.
Well, in my head, it was we find Yelos. We all go check in, and then we meet back here, I guess. To then do whatever else we need to do together.
Is there not somewhere more central we could? Just seems we're going very far away to come back here. To head back in the opposite direction.
This is also probably the safest place we know at the minute.
Glenn, you don't want to be meeting
that's
up
true.
either. Yeah. He's like, this is, depending on where you want to finish, this is the best place to come back to. We don't. He looks and he says, we don't want to be taking the preacher onto the main island. Let's risk.
So yes, we find Yelos. We all check in, then meet back here. Does that sound good? Sound fair to everyone?
Yes, that's fine.
That works.
We can go to the closest churches first and find your friend.
Well, I fear the closest churches will be on the central island, right?
Yeah.
So
You're on your own.
you may not want to go there. If that is the case.
Did the preacher actually have to use the middle island to get from north to south, or did he have another way?
You would still pass through it. You just don't. You wouldn't be meeting up. You could try. You'll be able to travel through. It's busy enough, but you don't like to travel through too often because it's just a hotbed of talents.
And he's not exactly subtle in his garb.
No, and he is. Not that you guys would know, but he is. He is probably known to the talent of the King's Guard. Like he's ruffled.
Well, obviously they've seen his face before when he was a wizard.
What? That's a completely different person.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's ruffled a few feathers. So he can travel through. The city is very busy, so he's not going to get pulled up. But you just wouldn't want to get into. As I said, you don't want to get into trouble. There's no chance that Glenn would be letting you go onto the island if he thought you were going to do anything that was going to highlight any attention towards it. Passing through and just traveling straight through to the south is safe, but if you stop and do anything, it becomes a risk. So definitely, you can do it. You're definitely free to go through the city, but you just know that if you were to get stopped, your worry, preacher, is that you would get picked up by the Talons. What you don't also know about these guys is that they might also be known by the Talons. So you think you're the risk.
Okay.
But you do travel through.
So yeah, I'll still preacher will still take you guys to the nearest church. Is that where he could have ended up at?
Yep.
But it will say he can't dally through the middle. It has to be a straight line, no stopping. If we don't want to get stopped.
Cool. Sweet. So who's doing what? Is it all going to look for Yelos?
No, I'm just going to go to the barracks.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, cost of the barracks. Rusty?
I'm assuming Zilna will check in for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But I think priority finding Yelos, so.
I'm guessing what needs to happen with Yelos, Willow probably won't want to be a part of.
You're going to murder Yelos?
I don't want to say anything about murdering him.
If you say that in front of Preacher, he won't let you do that.
Yeah, she
Just
doesn't.
straight up, he will not let you do that.
Neither will Merrin, and he doesn't have a god telling him what to do.
Yeah, just a conscience.
That was a very bad way of phrasing it. Yes, sorry.
Willow will ask Preacher if it's alright if she sticks with him. So if he's going to walk straight through, that she walks straight through too.
Well, he's going to take you to the churches that you think he.
Yeah, but he said he's not going to dilly dally around, so he's just going to walk through that middle part.
It'll be taking you to and being like, this is where he could have been, and then not. Then we'll be sure to make sure he doesn't engage or get close to any talent patrols in any way. So if it looks at any point like someone's going to fuck it up, Glenn will be telling the Preacher to get the fuck out of there quickly.
Can Zilna make more sending stones?
I could have made one in this morning, yes, when I woke up.
Just thinking maybe if we two groups, if the brother guys go searching for Yelos, and me, Zilna, and Marin go searching for Yelos as well, but separately.
Yeah.
Cover more ground and have a sending stone to communicate.
Yeah, I will pass the sending stone over to Willow then.
Don't want it.
Wow. Okay.
Are you sure about that?
Because you're going to destroy it as soon as I use it.
So that's the reason for not wanting that.
I guess then I'll ask Glenn to show Zilna, Merrin, and Gimbal on the map, like to plan out who's going to which one. Because you guys wouldn't have been there before, so I guess it might be useful if you see the map again.
Yes. Oh, so you're just going to point them in a direction rather than lead them.
Well, they want to go off, but I'd say I'd then tell Glenn to go with them.
Yep.
Because that would make more sense if we do two different. If they want to split the party.
Well, there's going to be 3 of us and 3 of you if Glenn stays with you. And also, he wants to get you out if you're in danger.
Yeah, but also you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
We can read a map.
And Merrin doesn't want to be there if you're going to murder you lot.
Yeah, Marin will stop that.
No one said anything about murdering anyone.
Man's just for his tool for today. He's actually built a people mine. I'm trying to think of the best word. A grenade, and he's going to slip it in his pocket.
Blow him up. Okay, so
Yeah, if he shows us the map, I think we can get a general gist of where we're going.
yeah.
I think it's better if Glenn goes with them.
Yeah, I think if you suggest it.
Plus, Glenn wouldn't even. He
I
wouldn't
don't
split up
think,
with it.
yeah, I don't think he would want to. He would if you told him to do, because he would do what he's told, but he wouldn't be comfortable with that as a plan, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, then.
Just because he doesn't know these guys for toffee. He will trust you, but he doesn't know these guys from anyone else. And if they're gonna, they're just gonna move around. And honestly, from the conversations that have happened, he's just a bit like, these guys are fucking reckless. They didn't know where half the people were. They've lost people already. It's like, I'd rather stay with you. But if you were like, Glenn, go and make sure they're safe, he will go and do that.
No, I don't want to put him in a situation where he's not happy.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Cool. So the churches along the way. So you've got the one you're in, which is up in the top corner. We will put must mark up here. So you are here. There is one within the Forum Quarter, a church. There is 1, 2, 3. Oh god, I just killed a man.
Rick killed a guy.
I killed a guy. Touched my armpit. There is 1, 2, 3 in the islet, and then 1 in the south. So this is the route that Yelos would have taken up through the center, up through here, and should have made it up to that top corner, but didn't. So they can point you out the 3 that he could have gone to on the islet itself, and you can take those, and then it's up to you where you guys would like to go. So who wants to go where?
I want to go to the Forum Quarter because I work on the basis he would have gone north, but he may have just tried to go straight north and not thought about turning left and gone right instead.
Yeah,
that seems like the logical solution.
That's also where I need to be at some point.
And while I'm there, if I find anywhere to sell gems, maybe that.
It's a bit further out.
Yeah, I can ask around.
Yep. Cool. So one team gonna go north. Who's going with who?
That's me, Gimbar, and Merrin, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the 3 brother together.
Okay. Nice. And they're gonna go. Okay, so you're gonna go onto the islet and have a look around. Okay, nice.
Would it be better doing it the other way around rather than the preacher going into the islet?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that way around? It depends.
Yeah, we can do that.
It depends which way you want to go. We're assessing the danger in the groups. Seeing that it's three brother going into the Islet Kingdom, you're pretty sure that you're probably going to stay quiet and just look rather than cause a ruckus. So there's less risk. If someone's going to start a fight, it's up to you. You can switch around if you want, but it's just if someone's going to start a fight, it's likely to be.
I suppose it will come down to whether Gimbar lets us know that he has business in the quarter.
Yep.
I imagine it's probably the same business as you, right?
Yeah, I'd tell you.
Marion.
Yeah, I think that for that reason we would make our make it clear that we want to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
Is Hannah with us as well?
Yes.
Yeah. She'd come.
If she wants to stay with you,
Willow.
Yeah, she would stay with you unless you want her just to go, because she was kind of just like, I can just go straight to the Mercantile headquarters, unless you want to come as well to the Mercantile headquarters.
I do want to go there, so.
Okay. So yeah, she'll stay with you until you get there.
Yeah.
Before we leave, Willow will water her plant.
Yep. Good.
That's it.
Water.
Cool. It's not quite a weasel though, is it?
It's not quite a weasel, no. It's just a plant.
Maybe it grows into a weasel.
That's how weasels are born, from plants. Cool. So you guys split off. It doesn't obviously take cost you very long to get to the barracks, but the rest of you head out and start tracing the steps back. So can I get for each of you investigation or other skills that you would be using to try and find Yelos? What are you going to do to try and find Yelos in the city?
Okay, I've got a. So are the streets like paved, or are they like muddy?
No, paved. This especially towards the center where you guys walk around here is a lot of paved, because the canal side is all paved and concreted up.
Okay. Well, I'll throw an investigation down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go straight investigation to it for clues and bits. But if you have other skills you'd like to use,
that's a 2 + 9. 2 + 7. That is a 9.
9. Gimbot, do that.
I'd guess I'd go perception.
I wouldn't do perception. It wouldn't be the right. You're looking. It'd be investigation. You're looking for clues to find. Perception would just be getting general feel. I don't think you're gonna. As you get out and start moving through the city, you're like, oh fuck, this is like a city. There are hundreds of people. You're not gonna spot him in a crowd. You're gonna have to be trying to look for clues that he might have left behind to find out if he is
survival work.
You could look. Yeah, if you use survival to be like, well, where would I go if I was stuck in a city and didn't know where to go?
Yeah, I'll try that. I got 19.
19, cool. Jonah?
Guess I'd go investigation. What could actually happen? Yes, it is. Yeah. It's 23 investigation.
23, nice.
I really want to find you.
Yeah, you really do. As you guys make your way down the main street towards the bridge and start getting into the Forum Quarter, before you get there, you're looking for, like Gimbar, you're looking for places where like homeless people will be sleeping, like benches that you could be staying on, or like covered areas. The weather's not horrible, but looking for places that would be good shelter if you had nowhere to stay, and you don't come up with anything. Merrin, when you're again looking around, looking for a hole, looking for places that he might have gone, signs for him, you remember what he's wearing, armaments, you don't find anything. Zilna, you pick up on the entry just by the bridge. As you come over the bridge and start making your way down the Forum Quarter, you notice, because you made it, the residue of the sending stone, which has crumbled and been dropped on the floor. It was around this corner. So as you kind of come just before the bridge and you start making your way down along the north bank, you see that there was on the corner where someone could have been stood or whatever there is the crumbled remnants of this magical device that you have relinquished control of.
Relate to the others that I think this is the way he came because of the remnants.
So the forum quarters, that sounds likely.
Yes, I think we push further in.
None of us came this far yesterday, did we? We're now in our individual.
Hannah did.
Hannah did.
Yeah.
Right. Just wondered if yesterday we might have noticed an area that might help us. In terms of where he might go. Obviously, it'd only be Hannah.
Hannah knows what's along here, and she can tell you like this is the front that goes along. There's residential spaces. There's some things. She's like, there's a good pub called the Sneaking Crab that sells some good fish food. But other than that, yeah, it's just is he somewhere along here? He was definitely stood on this corner here. You can all give me perception checks from that corner to try and look for where or what might have happened.
14.
Yeah, 11.
11.
It's like the corner of the main street, so it's really difficult. Like, did he get here and give up? Did he get here and just drop this and go away, or did something else happen? Did he move further in the sea? You're right on a crossroad where he clearly must have come over the bridge. Did he then carry on walking north and just drop this here? Did he go along into the forum core and just drop this here, or did something else happen to him here on this corner?
But he's check for a river, see if.
But
is it a clear river or is it like a dirty river?
It's dirty. It's a pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Sediment wise, it's not. It's cleaner than the south part of the river is, where all the crap gets dumped in it. But it's like a deep enough, murky enough river that you're not seeing to the bottom, but it doesn't. It's not like it's polluted or anything. But yeah, from here, you have this remnants, but very difficult to spot what happened, other than that he was here at some point.
Does Hannah know the area well then, or is that just she just knew that?
They walked down this front yesterday and found a pub and then walked back.
I guess I'll look out for any inns that you could have maybe gone to stay out along this way.
Yeah.
In case you just decide to give up, because you've obviously just been paid as well. So
yeah.
If he gave up trying to find the church, then he could just have easily gone into one of the inns.
Yeah, I was going to suggest maybe looking in the Sneaky Crab, whatever it's called.
Yeah, you can start there first. Cool.
While we're kind of walking along, I also want to look down all the alleyways just in case, like a wayward leg or something.
Can I also keep an eye out for somewhere called the Nook?
Yes. Yeah, so if you make your way all the way into the forum quarter, then yeah. If you mark all the way. But yeah, if you're marking your way down, there'll be a few inns you can try as you go in to find each of the ones up there. Sweet. So yeah, you'll spend some time doing that, going in, finding different inns, asking if anyone's staying by the name and give the description. As you kind of work your way through, you start with the Sneaky Crab. He's not the Sneaky Crab, but you move on to a few others. Preacher, Willow, you guys make your way over the pilgrim steps into the islet itself. Willow, you haven't been here for many years. But yeah, you can see as soon as you walk over, and Glenn and Preacher can kind of point out where where the palace ward, we have the guards out, where the guard force that is there looks to be King's Guard in armaments in the main, but then some of the gates, the guards on the front gates are Talons. And then, of course, you're very quickly greeted with the Grand Cathedral. So what is your plan as you go into the island?
Make a beeline straight towards the nearest church that isn't the Grand Cathedral.
Yep. Yes, you want the one in the north. I wrote down what it is somewhere. Yep, cool. So yeah, you can head towards the Mint Quarter. So north, here, Mint Quarter is it's the Islet Kingdom's own coin production and stamping facilities, like where a lot of the coins and a lot of the goods are turned into platinum or gold and given king seal stamps. Of the coins aren't the same across the whole of the country. The Gilded Hills do a lot, but the Islet Kingdom have been building up their own quarter as well. So it's nice production buildings, but easy enough to like dance between them and stay away from the main area, stay away from the Grand Cathedral. So yeah, you'll catch glimpses of it as you walk in because it's fucking huge. But you make your way through to the a nice church, smaller church here. This is the Church to Flora, where this one is still kept open because it has very beautiful gardens. It's on like on the concrete. The whole of this area, the whole of the island is pretty much like slabbed and tiled up well. But the Church to Flora has always had really beautiful surrounding gardens and bushes that are now not tended to by Brotherhood or by clerics that originally were there. They're tended to by someone that's paid for by either the king or the talent itself, like with the king. But they keep the gardens open and therefore keep the church kind of open, but it's not being used. It's not used for any sermons. But you can have a look around here. So if you guys want to give me any investigation checks around this area, or it depends. I suppose you haven't got anybody to talk to each other, so it's a bit annoying.
That's a 2 with a -1. It's a
Nice.
1.
12.
12, nice. Okay, wasn't much better from back then. Yeah, you can see around here that it's fairly busy. Like this is a nice place for people to come. You can see that the church is like maintained, and but there's no one here. There's no places to hide out. There's no one. If you'd seen this, you wouldn't even really mark it as a church as much as the garden as a place unless you knew. So you're not sure that that this would be where Yelos would have come to. It's a bit of a way off, but you've ticked it off at least. As you make your way, which way would you come further south? From here to get to the River Temple, which would be the closer one, the one on the south of the islet. You can pass through in between the ring and close to the Grand Canal, or would you take a bit more of a wider berth to stay away from the Grand Canal?
Take the wider berth.
Yeah. So as you guys move out and around the ring, it takes a while. Like it's the islet itself, moving through each of the courts takes about 20-25 minutes. Walking around this amphitheater, this thing is huge. It takes you like 25-30 minutes to walk around the outside of the ring to make it close to the River Temple. You can see that action, and Glenn will point this out as well as you move around. There is action and there is movement around the ring. They are getting prepped for something. That like gates are being opened, being cleaned up. That there are certain when nothing is happening in this area, it's a bit quiet, and the amphitheater itself is very quiet. But there is a movement of people in and around the amphitheater that tells you that something is close, and you expect it to be. If not tomorrow, like the day after, that you must be getting close to this thing happening in the ring now, because they are kind of like unmothballing the ring. They're getting it ready for an event, and you can see the movement of people around here. They are not talent guards here that are doing this. They are not necessarily King's Guard. There's a few patrols that you see moving about, but this is mainly the administrative staff that work at the ring that are getting it ready. So you guys make your way around and find yourself outside the River Temple. This is a church to Teresa, and it is set alongside the kind of bridge, the pulley system bridge that's there. It is the only break in the wall on the islet, as the temple itself, the church itself, is kind of built almost along the bank. You enter through a side door, but one of the main doors actually rolls itself down into the war itself, where there used to be processions where a lot of this would be to the kind of weather and sea gods, where they almost invite the river into the church as part of the ceremony. This one again is mothballed. completely closed up. Doesn't get used for anything. It is very specific because it has the way that the water runs into the temple and is used, that the talents have no need for. So as you come around to here and have a look around, someone would have to break in to get inside, or would have had to fall into the river and swim into the temple to make their way around. Is there anything you guys would like to do whilst on the island?
No, pretty sure I just want to get off as soon as they've done searching the two churches.
Okay. Well,
No, I think I'll just follow his lead. I think maybe looking longingly towards the Grand Cathedral.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then, you have the choice. Do you go south and see if there's anything you can pick up, or that he might have stopped before he even made it into the islet, or would you guys be cutting your losses and making your way back north?
We wouldn't know that they found a trail, would we?
No.
So we would go south.
Okay.
We have sending stones now.
Oh yeah, Willow does have a sentence. Well, it's whether would you guys have sent and say we think he's in the north?
I think we want to be more concrete on pinpointing him before sending anything out.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be another church that other side of the river?
Yeah, it's one more.
Okay.
Nice. So you guys, you make your way through the islet. You can see that the ring is starting to get a little busier as you make it to the south bank and head towards the Church of Robin. The south is bustling. There is this large land off to the left there on the map called the Marshlight, which is swampland that they have built houses on. Very cheap houses, wooden houses that are on stilts slightly above the water level, because it's not solid land at all. It'd be crap, but for the size of the city, they've had to start building out here, and then you get closer to the rope walk mile. The south of the city smells of like production. This is where there is the fish markets, where there is the tanneries, the boiling of like the hides and the boiling off of the fat. So at this time of day, it properly reeks at this side, part of the city, but it is bustling. This is where a lot of the common folk are. A lot of the work gets done in the south of the city. So a lot of your work would have been around here as well, Preacher. There's a lot of people that know you, and I think Willow, you would see as Glenn and Preacher make their way through. Not obviously, not like a big shout out, but you see that there's a lot of nods and a lot of like subtle hand shakes and movements towards the Preacher and Glenn as they make their way through the south. That they are clearly known in this area.
And you said that's where the fisher markets and stuff.
Yeah, all along these. There's basic like trade markets. There is a dock, but fisher markets. But fishermen, tanners, like cobblers, the things that need to deal with levers and the more stinkier productions are in the south. The north bank is where you have like the carpenters, the masons, and the blacksmiths.
Okay.
Kos, you make your way to the Riverside Barracks.
Which is where on the map?
Where your character is literally really close, so it's literally round the corner from where you were. So it's
nice.
Just north of the islet. It's this big facility. You come across you can see as you make your way down that there seems to be at least two sides of this facility that are have walls, have like a brick wall that marks it off, and there's a big gate, but the gate is left open with two watchtowers either side of it, which are right by the steps, right by the entrance as you make your way around. And you can see that inside, as you get close to the doors, you can see there's a few big facilities in here, but this looks to be like a barracks and training ground. And you can hear that something is going on. There is movement happening within as you arrive. As you arrive, one of the guards shouts down to you as you get to the front gate. Just says, "Oh, hold it. Are you here to train?" Cos, that's to you.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a response.
No. As you see, one of the other guards starts coming down the ladder to come out and greet you.
I'll wait for the guard to get down.
Yeah, he comes up to you. He goes, "You didn't? I didn't see any of you check out this morning. Are you? Do you lost? You ready? Are you ready to come in?" He kind of looks at your gear. He's like, "Are you supposed to be here?"
I am not with the group inside. I had heard in my travels that a group was here doing some work, and I have come to see if my talents may be required.
Okay. If you don't mind, just please, just come inside. He's like, if you don't mind waiting here, I'll go and grab someone. And
I will wait.
Yeah, he whistles out to someone, and he goes, "Can you just He's like, "Sorry, what's your name?"
My name is Cos.
Cos. And he shouts out, and he's like, "Can you just show Cos here into the waiting room in the barracks? I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get Tizu." And he goes, "Okay." And this other guy comes over to you. He goes, "Oh, please," and he takes you into the first building on the right hand side as you come in.
How much of the inside of the barracks facility can I take in as I'm moving around?
Give me a perception or investigation check.
Let's go with investigation. That will be a 13.
13. So you get a look in. It's very busy on the front. What the actual layout that you would see is. So you tough. The first building on the right side is a quite a large building, probably 60, 80 foot by 80 foot rough square, which is the barracks that they're leading towards. Immediately on the left hand side, you can see there's a slightly smaller building that looks to be a stable. You can smell hay, see hay, smell the horses. And in front of you, there is a much, much larger building. And then you can kind of see between them. So as you're looking at it, you've got the barracks, the bigger building, and then the pathway kind of runs past these two buildings off to a dogleg left, and then starts to curl around right around the large building, where you can hear the sound of swords hitting steel and fighting happening. So there seems to be the training areas are kind of off to the left or maybe behind that building, but from where you are in the front, you can only kind of pick up big building, stables, much larger building, and then round the back is where clearly some training is actually happening. How far back the facility goes from there, you're not quite sure, but it seems like all the buildings are at the front and there's training stuff on the back end. But they walk you into this barracks area. You can see there's a fairly wide enough corridor, nicely stone built facilities, and it takes you into this left hand door, which is has a few chairs in there, but it's mainly like an armory. So you can see that there are some weapons. It looks like this is where people leave off some of their gear. Mainly seems to be guardware. You see a few Kingsguard and a few Talon sets of armors that are set up, and slots for weapon racks in there. Looks to be like a guard room. You'd recognize this as kind of guard room, but there's a few chairs and stuff, so he kind of leaves you in there and just says, "Oh, we'll be back in a minute." Leaves you for 5 or 10, not 5 or 10 minutes, about 5 minutes before someone is sent. You see the door open, and standing in front of you is what you would recognize as a Githyanki, kind of like a warrior. So the Gith tend to, when they are operating out in military units, operate with a leader and then like a squadron. Mainly work in like 11s, 10 warriors to like one knight to like one head of. And what you see walking through the door is a Githyanki warrior, one of the lower rank warriors in their full Gith armor plate with the sword. Don't have a silver sword, they only have their smaller short sword to their side. but you see walking in front of you a Githyanki that you recognize as being one of your own kin, jet black hair. As he kind of walks through the door with a kind of little bit of a throwback, inquisitive face, and sees you sat there, and just says, "Hey, now who are you?"
I'll state my name. Is there any kind of family thing or anything, or unit?
It's more, there's more like not so much it's more like military. It's a lot of it is militaristic, so there tends to just be like the hand to forearm shake, the grab that he puts his arm out to kind of essentially find out who you are. But you would have normally been in a rank. You would have been in one of these groups before, headed up by a knight. The knights are the ones that have the full gear, have the silver sword, and are the ones that are signed off to like ride dragons if there were ever a chance. The warriors are all working up to that, so you recognize his rank from there. But because you've been here for so long, you now don't look, you're not in the same garbs or armaments, so he wouldn't be able to recognize you from look straight away of your rank.
I'll stand up then and take his arm for the handshake and give him my name.
Yeah, and he'll say back, he'll say, "Nulu." And he says, "You, Kos, why are you here? How long have you been here?"
I have been in this land since the attack on Olhearth and the gate there. I had heard that some of my people were here doing some work, and I came to see if my talents could be of use.
He nods and says, "Oh." You can see he is, as you say that you've been here for that long, that he is kind of, he is staring at you to again gauge one thing that you would know as Githyanki, that you get older on the material plane, you do not age on the astral plane. So the longer you are here, the more you age. Usually the older you are, it means you're a seasoned warrior because you've been out on many raids and spent much time on the material plane. So you can see he, on hearing that, is trying to just piece like how old you might be and how much you've aged by being here. You can see from his look that he's quite young, and therefore is probably not had that much experience out on the material plane, or not been sent on that many raids. As he says, "Oh, please, Kos, it's good to see another brother. Come, we will speak to Tizu."
I'll follow him.
As he leads you out to the ground and walks you around the full facility. So you get full sight of the facility as you come around. You can see that they have set up, and he walks you through where they have a few like fighting pits set up, new ones that they've kind of dug in, which are next to the stables. And then as he takes you around the back, there's a big archery range, which is has archery targets in it, but looks like they're also converting them to something a little sturdier. There's some like metal, rather than just being the standard straw circle ones, that there's these larger metal targets being placed in. And he walks you all the way up to the back, to the top corner, so like the northwest corner of this facility, where you can see that there are other Githyanki warriors. You can see Tizu, who is walking between them and looking. He's in his full plate armor. You can see the silver longsword, the sign that he is a Githyanki knight as he's moving through and correcting. And the Githyanki are fighting against these guards that are dressed in it looks like maybe it's bronze armored, but they're in different armor you haven't seen before. They have these full head masks that kind of come down, that look, the best way to describe it, they look a little bit like Cubo in the Pokemon. They've got like it's almost like a dragon skull mask they have, which is of this kind of deep bronze, almost purple coloration that comes around to horns. They're the like gambesons and stuff that they're wearing are all in these dark purples, and then they have again this bronzer plate, so they're fully plated up, but in this rather than the silver and the light metals that you would be training in, they're all dark colors, and they are fighting.
As I'm walking around with the guide, then I'll just say to him, "Interesting. I have not seen these armors before."
Nulo will say, yeah, these are special for these forces. We are here to train them, to make them fight like true Githyanki warriors. As much as you can make mortal man fight like Githyanki warrior. As he
I'll give a chuckle.
Yeah, they both like, it is. As you walk up, and you can see, the Githyanki are sparring with these guys, and as this knight is going around Tizu, he is like marking them out. He's like, no, foot, and he's like correcting where they're going. You can just see from the way they're fighting that the Githyanki are taking it easy on these fights here. That these warriors are getting cut in certain places, getting marked up, but they are clearly being put through their paces. You're used to this. You would have gone through training with the Githyanki where you get the shit kicked out. Your training is like you get the shit kicked out of you if you're not strong enough. You get put on a shit job. You're like, if you are not a warrior, you get put to a job that is less important. So you can see that they are taking it easy on these humans as they're fighting with them. As Nulu says, and he runs in and grabs Tizu. You hear him see him whisper as he turns around and looks at you, and then comes over. And like for you, you would see, seeing like a knight is still like for you still impressive. They are the commanders of the thing. They are the dragon riders. They have the silver swords. Silver swords are the like pinnacle of what the Gith warriors would like to get to. Having a silver sword make one, they're very impressive swords. They have extra powers on the astral plane, but they are so important to the Gith that if a silver sword was to go missing, was to be stolen, that you know that they would send battalions to recover the sword. It's like, if a silver sword is lost in battle or is stolen, the Githyanki will destroy the entire city that it was stolen in to get it back. Like, these swords are very important to your people. So as he kind of comes up to you, just so you're aware, like having a knight is quite reverent.
I'll stand to attention and say sir or something similar.
Yeah. As Tizu puts his hand out and says, "Of course." Shakes your hand. Says, "How are you here in this camp?"
I'll again recount being left behind after the attack on All Earth, and I'll give him some extra details about using my skills to hunt monsters, to fund searches for Gake, and I'll recount how many did I say in my backstory that I'd killed over the years? 3 that I'd hunted down and murdered independently in this land.
He nods. Good.
And then I'd heard about the camp here and decided to come and see if I could be of service.
He kind of, as you go through accounts, he's like, "It is strange you have been left behind for this long. You've been on the material plane this many material years?"
The entire time.
Whoa. Where is your battalion?
They left with the attack. I'm ashamed to say I was struck down, and by the time I woke, they had left.
He looks to Nulo and says, "You go back to work." He says, "This is worrying to see a brother left on the material plane for this long. Without a knight, without the commander, you must have been lost. What is your mission?"
I have used my skills as best I can to survive and to further our grand mission and rid this plane of as many Gake as I can find.
You have much knowledge that we could use, but I am worried, Kos, that you have been left behind or disowned without your knight to sign off, to report that you are missing. This is a worry.
I may have been reported missing. Without a way to contact the astral plane, I have been left to fend for myself.
You can see him pondering. You would know that it is the, like, not like the gift first fear that they will be trying to work out from you is to check that you're like not a deserter, that you haven't made it to the material plane and then decided to give up ranks, but you've also just turned up and given yourself in. So you can see he's like pondering thoughts of what he should do. I will do what I can, Kos, to find out what or why you have been left with no mission for so long, with no knight to command you, but it is good to see you in good health. You need a mission. I have a full battalion here, but maybe there is use for you left. You have been scouting. Have you found anything useful that could be reported back to help me redeem your case?
What kind of things would be useful here?
Interesting. So, ridding of mind flays.
I have my book with the studies of various different types of creatures.
The main things that get come into the material plane for is normally to like rob and pillage, so like stealing stuff of great value, to find a creche. So to find a safe place or a place that they can rule over to raise their eggs, because the eggs can't be born on the astral sea. They don't age, so you have to be born and trained on a material plane camp before you then take them back to the astral. Or information that might help them further their course, become more warring. So new technologies. I think the dragon information you'd think would be particularly interesting, knowing that the only information that you know about the dragons is that there is a relationship where red dragons young red dragons are kind of volunteered to be ridden by Githyanki until they become adult, whether they disappear again. But it's a relationship as a long-term relationship between the dragons and the Gith. But seeing that dragons could be made, or there's these abominations that could be made, that could be very useful for the Gith, because at the moment you're kind of, if the red dragon doesn't want to ride, like the big problem you have with riders is that the red dragon has to choose the rider, has to be happy with the rider, as you can't ride a dragon. So there's this issue there that you're always a little bit as a species at the behest of these red dragons. But if you could create dragons, if you could make dragons, if you could birth dragons, that could go away. So I think that would be a bit, you're like, well, this could be really useful.
In that case, I will pull out my book and start to go over with him the various research into dragons, the half dragons that have been seen, the rumors about creating them through scales.
Yep.
Mention the wyverns that have been flying around this city as well.
Yeah, which he has seen. He nods and says, "Kos, this is good work. Let us arrange a time. Now is not good. I must train these."
My skills are not good for the training here. I must admit, I have never seen these armors before.
He says, "There is only one way to test if you are useful for training. That is for you to train as well. Do you agree to spar? To duel?"
Of course.
He says, "Good. These humanoid folk, they need a good example of Gith on Gith fight." He looks over and says,
just before we do that, when he says Gith on Gith fight, what would my understanding of magic being allowed in something like this be? Because obviously Gith have their own innate magic with the misty steps and the jumps and things.
Yes. So you'd expect them to use them. You'd expect misty step to be used to get around. So that sort of magic they're not using it here though, which is interesting. You'd assume if you were going to have a duel, the duels normally Gith to Gith would be first to bloodied, so first to draw blood, so half HP. But it would be your decision on whether you think you could use magic in this, whether this is a safe space to use magic or not. You wouldn't know until you went to the fight, or you'd check beforehand. But
I think what he would do is just wait to see if somebody else would use it first.
Nice. So he looks over and calls like, "Halt!" And he says, "Melly, let's show these humanoids how the Githyanki fight. This is Kos. He's agreed to duel for our entertainment and for your research purposes, guards. This is how you fight." And they'll set you up as they part ways in this pit to duel another Githyanki warrior, which we'll pick up next time. As the rest of you is moving through the city, you have found your people, you have found the Riverside Barracks, and to prove yourself as a Githyanki warrior, you shall be dueling another warrior in front of the other Githyanki that are here, and your and these guards that are being trained in this kind of like dragon form armor. Nice, wicked. And then the rest of you will pick up as well as you move through the city. We have some leads. We are looking for year loss. We have some Githyanki on the material plane. Oh my god, so crazy. We'll find out.
We have a new friend.
Oh, which one?
Glenn.
Preacher.
Yeah.
Glenn. Yeah, Glenn.
Glenn. Glenn's the friend, right? Lush. Right, we'll find out what happens next time. GG's. Ta-ta, farewell.